If you really want some film at 11, why don't you follow me down to the brewery? I'll tie a bowling ball to my ankle, dive in the vat of beer. I'll leave this world the same way I entered my marriage, dead drunk.
Anyway, yo, man, come hit this right here. You need to hit this. Oh, yeah. Hit that.
No, I appreciate it, but I told my wife I wouldn't drink tonight. Besides, I got a big day tomorrow. But you guys have a great time.
A big day? Doing what?
Well, actually pretty nice till Saturday. We're gonna go to Home Depot. Yeah, buy some wallpaper, maybe get some flooring, stuff like that. Maybe Bed Bath & Beyond, I don't know. I don't know if we'll have enough time. Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
I've discovered that you people apparently have some sort of federal grant for drinking. I don't know if you're using that farm subsidy money or if you're just hijacking liquor trucks. Is it volume? It's unfucking-leavable. It's staggering. How do you know when it's New Year's? What's the difference? I've been in bars here, and it's like New Year's every fuck night. Oh, New Year's, that's when we drink with hats on.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
These guys right here are some of the most talented cocksuckers. Say hello, you old cocksuckers.
I could have sucked a cork all the night long if they let me. I would have sucked 2 corks at once.
When are you walking in here? I could have sworn you're already an expert corksucker.
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah!
Pete, we're back.
What's up?
Holy, there you go. That's loud for you.
Shit, that is.
Yeah, a little loud. Told you.
My voice is annoying on a regular basis.
Well, that's true.
Doesn't need amplification.
Folks, we have a packed house yet again tonight. Welcome to the Wort with Mike and Pete. We are on govsradio.com. We're streaming on our YouTube live page tonight. And in the studio, if you were watching YouTube, you can see Scott from Long Ireland. You can say hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
That's Steve back there from Barrage.
Hola.
Back again.
Hola.
Numero dos. Hold on, I got to put you on. Go ahead, Steve. Say hi.
Hola.
Oh, there it is. I'll turn you up a little bit. This is how I do mic checks.
Mic check, hola.
We have the co-presidents from the Long Island Craft Beer Week starting on May 11th through May 20th. We have Jacki.
Hi, everybody.
And we have Dave.
Hello.
And Dave from Bellport Beverage. Cold beer and soda.
Cold beer and soda.
Cold beer and soda.
It's on the T-shirt.
I'm looking this way. That is a long way for me to look that way in this, too. I know. I didn't memorize at the start. I think I might have texted you like 3 times and asked you exactly everyone's name so I didn't screw it up. But I didn't really screw it up. So you know what? Why even try anymore?
Fuck it.
It's the way I live my life. Why even try anymore? Just it. Just give up. Why even try anymore? No reason for that anymore. Well, folks, we are here, govsradio.com. If you'd like to talk to any of our guests throughout tonight, our phone number is 516-465-3990 or 516-513-0515. Grab a pen because I'll say it one more time, and then you can go fuck yourself. It's 516-465-3990 or 516-513-0515. Give us a call throughout the night. Say hi to the Brewers. Say hi to the presidents. That's what we're going to call you for now, the presidents.
like
Ooh. Madam President, Mr. President. And so we probably really have to jump right into this because we have a lot to talk about. Since we have Scott from Long Island here, we're going to do our normal podcast and really break down the brewery. But we also want to now include a lot of what's coming up in this week. And there's a ton of stuff on the dossier, I would imagine, event-wise.
Dossier, that's a fancy word.
I just made it up, so I'm pretty...
I prefer agenda.
I'm like Will Ferrell that time where he gets up in front of everybody and just starts preaching. Sometimes I say things, I go, I amaze myself there with that SAT-like word. And, you know, I'm pretty exhausted by the end of the day of my teaching career to then sit here and talk for 3 hours. But that's okay. I'll come up with dossier and biblioteca and all those other good words that don't really make much sense. Okay, dead air, great.
Beer.
So where do you guys want to start? I mean, like I said, so much to go through, so much to talk about.
I heard there's an app.
Okay, so let's start with the app. Long Island Craft Beer Week. Thanks, Pete. Pete keeps my air traffic controller because otherwise I got planes just ramming into each other on the tarmac.
That was him counteracting your fancy dossier word.
Oh, there you go.
App was his.
Perfect. Thank you, Pete. So, Pete, Craft Beer Week coming up May 11th through May 20th. It's going to be, I don't want to say a two-town only, but it's premiering in the two towns of Farmingdale and Patchogue. A lot of the events are going to be taking place throughout that time. And, oh, by the way, that's Long Island for anyone that's listening outside of the New York area and has no idea what Patchogue is. You probably just think I'm speaking Algonquin. Another big word.
Make
Good.
words
Big
again.
word.
Yes. Should I say Takapusha? Everyone knows
Please don't.
Takapusha. Listen, we could trade wampum later, but you can see my Long Island history got better in 4th grade than anything else.
Wantagh.
Well, there you go. So we got to talk about the app. We'll start there. It's a great place to start. And there is an app for anyone that's out there listening to download. Jackie, why don't you tell us a little bit about the app and what we can find and where we can find it and what's it actually called?
Sure. It's if you look it up, it's on both platforms. What the hell are they called?
Google Play and the
those are the ones, and the Apple
App
one.
Store.
Yeah.
App Store. Let's go to App Store.
Okay, the iOS App Store.
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's called Attendee Hub. So when you look that up and you download it, it's
You're getting started before our second segment. No, I'm just kidding. You can crack a beer whatever you want, sir.
and then once you download the app, then you look up Long Island Craft Beer Week, and
Okay.
it takes you right to it. And there's a whole lot of
Lot of
information.
events, right?
Yeah.
So the whole schedule is on there, I would presume.
The schedule is on there, as well as we have a section for that spotlights all the brewers from the breweries that are involved.
Oh, great.
So they got a little bio up there. Some people even gave us some pictures.
Links to the sites and things like that.
Yeah. And then there's some interactive stuff that's pretty cool too. We're gonna have photo scavenger hunts going on during the
Oh.
right.
Nice.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'm kind of excited about it.
That's pretty cool. So let's say you win. What's the prize for winning such an event?
There's surprise.
Okay. All right. Now I'm more intrigued. So now my questioning may continue further.
That was oddly cryptic.
It was, but yet enticing nonetheless. All right, so I'm looking it up now because I'm going to download it now,
Awesome.
and I'm going to try to play out the experience. Long Island Craft Beer Week, and what's it called again?
Attendee Hub.
Attendee
Yes.
Hub. Got it. Comes up first thing when you type in attend. So that's awesome. So Attendee Hub. It costs $4.99, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a free app for download. Wait a second. Who's getting that? Everyone's looking at each
It
other.
was right in my pocket.
Yeah, nice. So we're going to download this app, and who came up? Well, let's start with the roots of Long Island Craft Beer Week, because I know there was one last year, and I can't think of beyond that, and maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but when did this all start?
2011.
Wow.
Andy from Starfish Junction was the guy who came up with the concept, and and he did an unbelievable job of getting people together to just do things together.
Okay.
It's
doing things together.
Yeah, it's.
Well, I know Starfish Junction really ruled a lot of the ticketing for many of the events that were taking place, Beer Fest and stuff like that.
Right, and a lot of that is an extra thing from what they normally do is run events, but they would help anybody else who needed help by using their platform to process all the the ticket sales and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But they've been running the best shows as long as I've been.
Well,
going
as
to
long
them.
as I can remember. 'Cause
Yeah.
everything was Starfish Junction, even very early on at Nassau Coliseum, and even before that, I think. What were they doing before that? They were.
He was way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the Martha Clara shows out east.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we were talking about that last time with Brian
Thank you,
from Barnshed. I remember those Martha Clara ones. Those were fun.
Yeah.
Those were a good time.
Oh,
But they were
that's
they were
so
outside
awesome.
and they were hot, but it was still great because you could drink a ton of beer.
And he's,
Yeah.
he's
And-
moved that show to Heckscher Park now.
Yes, correct,
been
yeah.
So it's still an outdoor
Still a
show.
great
It's coming up, correct?
second week in second Saturday.
Yeah.
Correct. All right. Yeah, I saw some sort of advertisement for it at one point, whether it be through one of the brewers' sites or whatnot.
Yeah, but Andy, like I said, Andy came up with it, and he planned it for a while because it's kind of hard to, it's herding. What's that?
3 years.
Yeah, it's like herding cats, as they say.
Okay.
Now, see,
Putting
he
it
understands.
mildly.
Right. And it's a big undertaking, getting a lot of people to have the same mindset. But he did a great job. But he needed to move on from it, and he asked me to take over.
Nice. Okay.
And the following year, I said, "Hey, Jackie, staring at computer screens burns my retinas. Could you do that for me and help me out?" And
And what was that
and yell at
relationship
people?
coming up? What was Jackie doing with you at the time that you asked her?
I was on the planning board helping him out with it the previous year. So.
Oh, okay. So you had the experience rolling
Yeah.
into that year.
Yeah, and she went out and she did things. A lot of people give you lip service and don't particularly do anything, and Jackie did. And
I took a week off.
and
Nice.
And, yeah, and she really
you're gonna
she
need it to
re- she
get-
really hustled.
Then events at this magnitude around Long Island, you're going to need some time to devote to that kind of arrangement and
Took a week off,
organization.
loaded
and-
up a rental car, sat down on the axles, and drove out to Nassau County throwing beer at people. It was pretty funny.
I want to be around for
That
beer
poor-
thrown around. That's awesome.
That poor freaking Kia, man.
Was it a Forte?
Maybe.
Yeah, it could have been.
Maybe.
It was a sedan. It was a Dodge Stratus.
I'm
just kidding. I know.
drive a Dodge Stratus.
I dive.
Stratus.
See, you guys do
People
know the
are
reference.
scared of
Very
me.
It was a Yugo.
Yes. So the 2011, who was involved with in brewery-wise? Who was involved with that sort of go-around?
Oof, God, I have
Ah.
the list. To see if I knew they were going to ask these hard questions.
The hard-hitting questions here at the work.
Yes,
Yeah, now, because back then, too, let's remember, it was really,
it was thin.
Blue Point, you had
We had Long Island. We had
Long Island, Blue
Great
Point,
South Bay just had
Great South
started.
Bay just
Greenport?
started, Southampton got
Blind
involved.
No,
Blind Bat?
Blind Bat
Blind
got
Bat was on
involved,
yeah.
board.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think Greenport. When did Greenport
I don't think they
start?
were
I don't think
there
they
yet.
were
No.
here
They might have been.
because, like, when I did my charity event the following year, there were a lot of guys pouring for the first time.
Yep.
So Spider Bite, none of those guys were like real breweries at the time. So we had a very
Rocky Point.
small Rocky Point. No, they weren't a
No.
legal brewery at the time either. We really didn't have a lot to choose from. And the funny thing was, it's evolved into being all about the names on the can and the people we know. But it really started out as just Long Island celebrating craft beer. They celebrated their own. That was the focus. But we didn't have that much of our own. So it was just really to celebrate craft beer. Because Andy's thing was, that's what he did. He brought all these people into Long Island. Hey, let people try your beer. And this was, to me, seemed like a natural progression.
Right.
And then as we had more and more Long Island guys jumping on board and getting their license and opening up their breweries, it morphed into more of a Long Island-centric thing. The first few events, if you go back to 2011, I still have all the paperwork. And if you go back to the thing, it was a Dogfish event, it was this event, it was that event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot to choose from. Andy's done a lot. And I think, Andy's one of those quiet guys. He won't go out there and look for attention, look for pats on the back. But he's one of those guys who truly, helped advance a lot of these guys who don't even, they don't even know who Andy really is.
Right.
But
The guy in
They know the
orange
name of the
shirt.
company, but they don't know him and what he's done for
the
the
guy in
event.
the orange
Well, that's
shirt.
it.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
That's what it is.
Right, but they don't even understand that if Andy hadn't started pulling this stuff together in the mid 2000s, maybe there wouldn't be room for us, right? Maybe there'd be only 10 breweries on Long Island.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd still be at that stage, 3, 4, 5 years behind where we are now. Andy was one of those pioneers who honored the other pioneers but never took credit for being a pioneer.
And do you think that a lot of the breweries acknowledge that as like a jumping off point for where we are now from then?
I think a lot of the old school guys, they get it, they give them the credit. I think a lot of new guys really don't see that correlation, and I could see that because
They're not really as involved. He's not as involved as he used to be.
Well, he's
with
not
the,
that involved, but even so, but as a brewery, you're saying, okay, I'm bringing this beer with me, I'm pouring beer at a show. You don't really think about
what came before that.
Right. What happened that got me there? And I don't blame those guys for that. It's not normal thought. I've just kind of watched it for 20 years, so
It's not their history.
It's a different story.
And you think of those guys that poured in 2011 are pretty much some of the core.
Well, what's
that
really
started?
cool, is a lot of those guys who actually, at the event, we had at that time we had a lot of guys from the beer club, Long Island Beer Malt Enthusiasts. We produced a lot of breweries out of that club.
Right.
I had a lot of guys pouring. They weren't really breweries yet. They had a banner,
Yeah.
but they weren't really a brewery.
Right.
And that was the great thing that got them in front of a bunch of people to get an opinion on that beer and say, you know what, I do suck, or wow, I am making good beer.
Right.
Or my beer's so great. Why do they hate it? Which we have a faction of
happens.
people. It
Right,
happens. But
They can't all be hits.
they cannot all be hits, and even the great breweries come up with some dogs once in a while.
Yeah.
But,
At least they have the other things to cover it up. They're like, all right, you know what? Don't worry about that one. Just try some more lager. The lager's good. You can
That's
do
what
lager.
tasting rooms are for these days.
Right.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yep. And one of the greatest things about like the events that Andy started was we all became friends at those events. It was the first time we all spent more than 5 minutes talking.
Right.
Because a sales guy, a sales rep, or a guy dropping off beer, you saw the guy, you knew his name, you shook his hand, and that was it.
Yeah.
And we got to spend all that time together, hanging out and getting to know each other, and busting each other's chops. And
It's a black IPA that's brown.
the first show he did, I gave him half my table.
Yeah.
And he had made a black IPA.
Okay.
And he was so annoyed because person after person would say, "It's a black IPA.
Why is it brown?
Why is it brown?"
Why is it? And I'm like, what the fuck is with these people? And I'm really starting to, and now I'm like starting to like, well, fuck you and your fucking. And then I hear the snickering from behind me, and it's Dave from Bellport Beer and Soda telling people
Cold beer.
and soda. No, it's fucking warm now. Fuck him. And he's telling people like down the road, hey, when you go over to him, you try that black IPA. Tell him, why is it brown?
So yeah, and it was a lot of people, and it was very funny.
Moral of the story: Dave is an asshole.
I am. I will not deny. I will not deny that. But you know what? Most of me being an asshole, results in laughter. The rest of it results in deep, deep hatred.
Do you think you have a lot of haters out there just for being honest with people?
Oh, fuck yeah.
That
Steve's
is
answering for you.
Dynamite dropping.
there is your answer. Yeah, I don't. There are guys who appreciate the fact that I'll tell them their shit sucks because I really want people to improve their craft.
Correct.
I don't want to tell you blow smoke up somebody's ass and say
You don't get better from someone telling you you're doing a great job.
Bam. What
That's
I
how I am
tell,
at
I
work.
tell homebrewers all the time. Don't listen to your friends. They're getting free beer.
Right.
They're going
They
to
love
tell
it
you
all.
it's good. Do not listen to your friends. Bring bottles to guys like me. Bring bottles to guys that are beer judges. Bring guys to advanced homebrewers, other breweries. You're stopping a tasting room, bring them a bottle, get an opinion. Stop listening to your friends. Yeah, and most people appreciate it, but there are people who absolutely cannot stand the fact that I'm honest, and not just about the taste of their beer. I'm a straight shooting guy. You're going to get the facts from me whether you like them or not, and the truth is, at the end of the day, if I don't have to talk to you, if I don't have to talk to you because you're upset, you know what?
I'm better
Good.
off.
It's one less person I got to talk
exactly.
to.
That's a good philosophy.
It is. You know what? I have a lot of,
That's Pete
I
doesn't really
can-
like people as much as others.
Yeah.
This is
What do you
this is
like?
also me as an intervention to get Pete out in the world, just to get him more acquainted with people. Pete works at home, and he doesn't have anybody.
I don't have to socialize like face to face with people
at all.
But when you say he doesn't like people as much as others, do you mean like other species,
yeah.
or he doesn't like them as much as we like them?
Well, I think that we're more
can
out
leave that
in the
open.
world. Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, wait, isn't this about beer?
It is.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to get some background
There you
here.
go.
That's all.
We always tend to lay down on the psychologist chair every once in a while.
We're gonna get Pete a puppy. That's the
Yes.
I do need a puppy.
You do need a puppy. Your house is kind of boring without a puppy to
Sure
just
is.
ruin
I
everything.
need a therapy dog while I work.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yes.
Would you
Yeah.
be one? Wait, you wouldn't be one of those people who walks around with their therapy dog, getting into places, going, "It's a therapy dog."
Dude, that shit is fucking therapy peacocks and people walking on planes with potbelly pigs and shit.
Yeah.
That's no. That's.
I have a therapy Steve.
Yes.
And it's really fucking not working for you, is it?
and just like other therapy creatures, he will pee on the floor.
I think I just did.
Well, that's why we put you in the corner, because I don't have to worry about that corner tomorrow. All right, so I mean, thanks, Dave. That was a lot of inside information.
Too much.
So you guys are already cracked some beers, and
we didn't pour any for you guys.
No,
we
that's-
suck.
That's okay. You guys.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Dude,
Yeah, we.
Sure.
I'm not in AA right now.
beer, man.
Not yet.
Not in AA right now.
Not just yet.
Maybe
I can't
later.
even spell
Yeah.
AA, so you're way
That's
ahead
true. It's AFA.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll start with the artwork. So who came up with the artwork? Do we have a local artist or?
Eric Budzinski.
Okay.
He works at the Brick House in Patchogue.
Okay. Great.
And he
And-
came on and helped us out.
And it was.
Oh, it's on here. So now I'm reading.
unanimous. Pretty much all the brewers, we all voted. There was a couple of different versions, and we all, for some whatever reason, we loved this red version. We all gravitated to it.
Yeah, I had to keep. I almost turned to black and white for the poster for the show, and I went, doesn't look as good as it does in the red for whatever reason. Not as eye catching. Cheers, everybody.
Plus, I'm angry.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm going to throw it to you from here.
Air cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend.
So why don't you guys start by telling us what we're going to drink here? This is obviously a change from previous years with the shorter 12 ounces. We went 16, is that
Well, the
correct?
first year we
Or
did
8 to
12
12?
ounce.
Okay.
The first year was a 12 ounce. That was the
Long Island Common.
yeah. We did a Long Island
That was a
Common.
great beer.
Yeah, it was a great beer. So
And which year was that? Was that
2015.
15? Okay.
and the concept behind this was that first we were sitting around the table talking about like how are we going to get people to try something other than their standard Bud Light, whatever their go-to. I know I said the word. How are we going to get people off of their hand beer and get into something that they haven't tried or they're
Out of their comfort zone a little bit.
Exactly.
Yep.
And it's like, well, we can make this collaboration beer and we can have them, we'll take the beer out of their hand and we'll trade off. But then we're like, well, what the fuck are we going to do with a big box of this crap?
What would you do with a lot of Bud Light?
We thought about doing like a dunk tank or something.
Ooh.
and-
That's a great
right.
idea.
That is a
But,
great
um,
idea. A
you
little
know,
messy.
But
It's a great way to raise money for charity.
well,
Dunk a brewer in a vat of
yes.
Bud Light.
but then we have to collect all this crap.
Yeah.
I didn't really
And it's
want to.
against the Geneva Convention, I believe.
Yeah. So you can't put
It's a war crime.
craft brewer into that nonsense.
Can't do that stuff.
So then we decided, well, if we team up with Long Island Cares, we can trade in cans of food for cans of beer. So that's kind of how the Can for a Can program came about. And every year, it's always a different style that we come up with, trying to expand people's horizons a little bit and let the brewers play. So this year they sat around the table and they started talking. They wanted to go back to an IPA. We did one 2 years ago. But this year they started playing with the idea. Craft Beer Week, we've sort of centered around trying to bridge East and West, Nassau, Suffolk, and kind of swapping the sides in certain events where we have East going towards the West, West going towards the East.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So with this, they, taken the two popular styles of IPA, the West Coast and the New England, and smashing them together. They use two different kinds of yeast. The hops are Tahoma, Cascade, and Nugget. It's got a really nice blend between the piney resin flavors of the West Coast, and it's also got a little bit of flaked rime in there to bring out a little bit more of that bite, and then the juicy New England IPA
Yeah, that
flavors.
back flavor there.
Kind of
that sits
balancing
there,
it
yeah.
out.
It's nice. So let me just read off all of the breweries that participated, and I would assume they're all here listed. And it's going to take me about 45 seconds, so bear with me, everybody. It's a 1940s Barn Shed Brick House, Brewers Collective, Barrage, Spider Bite, Great South Bay, Lithology, Montauk, Greenport, Long Island, Destination, Dubco, Mustache, Port Jeff, Fire Island, Sand City, St. James, Garvey's, Long Beach, North Fork, Oyster Bay, Po' Boy, Long Island Longbeard, and Jamesport.
And we also had.
Are we missing one?
We
Did we run out of room on the label?
We had one brewery that is also brand new and that came on kind of late. So we have Six Harbors. That's also they weren't necessarily involved in the brewing part, but they are involved with craft beer.
And where is Six Harbors located?
Huntington.
It is.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's the new one that's going to be up in the village.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about it. I didn't know that they
man,
assigned a name
That's a
to it
great
already.
spot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's beautiful inside too. I went in there on Friday because I was dropping off deliveries because it's my favorite thing to do. It's like Santa Claus. I get to deliver stuff.
You see smiles on people's faces.
When I come and
Roll in.
walk in carrying 2 cases of beer, and they're like, "Ooh, is it Dr. Pepper?" No, it's not Dr. Pepper. It's beer.
What role did they play into the collaboration? They just
They came on late. They came on after the beer had already been brewed, but they're involved in craft beer week.
Okay,
as far
great.
As
Yeah,
events
so they're
and stuff.
collecting at their brewery and taking in cans and non-perishables. And
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about that. What do people get? And again, the connection to Craft Cares. Where's Craft Cares out of? Do you know a lot of the history of that? I know I had worked with them. I worked at an outreach in Wyandanch for 9 years. Gerald Ryan, and they connect with them as well. So we try to feed a lot of that food over to there. But give me a little background on that sort of relationship that you guys established.
Oh well, I mean, Long Island Cares. I do charity events. I used to do them annually. It just gets harder and harder, so I don't do it every year now. But I do charity events, and I always would raise food for local food pantry. And I had gotten the box years ago and done this, and I had seen it everywhere I go. I see the box at the collection boxes everywhere.
Yeah.
And we were looking for a good partner that had really nothing to do with craft beer. You know, something that we could reach outside of our own community and say, what can we do? And it's a great organization. They got great people working there. They do good things. They spread the love. They get the food. Another little food pantry doesn't get enough. They'll drop off a truckload of stuff over there.
Yep.
So make sure they have stuff. It's a nice organization.
And it's primarily Long Island based, correct? They don't
It's
reach
Long
out
Island
beyond
Cares. It's Harry Chapin started it.
Okay.
It was his baby.
Wow.
Like I said, we wanted a charity angle. My event's always a charity angle. So I like the charity angle, and we can't. I always think the community does a lot. What they do for us is they buy stuff. No, really,
Right,
the community buys stuff for us. So what do we give back? Well, this is something to give back. The brewers all give their time, their effort. We get donated hops. We get everything donated.
Nice. So
The
there's really
time.
no money out of pocket in that regard. So
and
it's
actually,
true.
too,
limited.
We should really announce who donated a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
true. You know what? This year we really we were lucky. It expanded the people who donated ingredients, materials, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to go over that?
Yeah, we had.
Dave didn't bring his
Oh, it's on the
glass.
can as well. See, I went right to
blind.
breweries.
So we had Conzella hops donated from Port Jeff Brewery.
Oh, nice. So they're out in Wading River.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we had Route 27 Hop Yard, which is in Santa Mauritius.
Yeah.
And we had the North Fork Hop Yard, which is Peconic. So all of them, they donated 100% hops in this beer. And by the way, there's 90 pounds of hops in this beer.
Oh.
All
That's a
100%
lot of
grown
hops.
on Long Island. All
That's
from here.
great.
That's really cool. Yeah.
And then the malt came from Country Malt Group, and the labels were the actual labels were donated by Avery Dennison. The printing was done by DWS in Deer Park. Who else we got?
Is that the company that's
Malt
going to do
Man.
my
And then Malt
T-shirts?
Man.
I think it might be. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then the Malt Man donated the actual
The
canning
cannons.
day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
So they helped us out with the packaging.
That's awesome. Straight
Stand-up
through.
guys,
No
they
one
were
had
awesome.
to to really suffer in order to make this and then get it out to everybody to get a return on the food and stuff like that. So before the show, I made a non-ceremonial addition to the non-perishable. I brought a bag of non-perishables, as I always do, regardless.
Excellent.
Somebody's taking it home, so I don't. Whoever has a box in their area, just throw it in there for now. I think I was telling.
Where can people donate?
Yeah,
and
so
can
there
they
you
still
go.
donate?
All right.
That one's a longer list than that's on the can. You can go to LongIslandCraftBeerWeek.com, and there is a complete list of all. We have almost 50 locations on Long Island throughout Nassau and Suffolk.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, there's a place to go and donate.
And so it's beyond just the breweries
yes.
for this.
And also, Long Island Cares this year has also set up, we have virtual food drives. So if somebody wants to donate, they can't make it out to the event, you're not on Long Island, and you just want to support, each one of the locations that is a pickup also has a virtual drive set up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So our friends that are national on the Hopped Up Network, which we're brand new to, Pete, anyone listening out there on the Hopped Up Network, go ahead and donate. Craft Beer Week here on Long Island, May 11th through the 20th. They can go to LICBW.us.
Yes.
I was getting there, and then I second-guessed myself.
Or if you're feeling feisty and you want to type it all the way out, it's LongIslandCraftBeer.com.
That's it. Well, for the people that don't have a pen and paper while we're playing this bag, it's LICBW. Good. .us. Again, I had to think about it again.
And the cool thing that we didn't really touch on is some of these, all these breweries. So you donate your food. Some of the breweries are doing programs where you might get a free pint, you might get a discount on a pint while you're there. You bring your food in, and it's not just as much as Pete hates people. It's you can bring dog food, cat food.
Oh, nice! Yeah,
so
it goes well beyond that.
Not to the restaurants.
Not
to the
restaurants.
Can't do that.
To the breweries.
Right.
But that's another thing. That's so somebody who goes into like restaurants and stuff, and they're like, I know, I just want to do personal hygiene products, dog food. The restaurants can't take those items. Because of health codes, I don't know.
That may be a problem.
They frown upon these things.
Can I have the kibble and bits appetizer, please?
It's another reason that we set up the virtual drives, because people that want to support in that way. Yeah, but the breweries.
I have terrible jokes.
They'll
I'm
take
going to keep to
anything.
myself.
Why keep it to yourself?
Why,
Really?
Something about
Peter?
cat food, going to the Chinese restaurant.
There it
That
is.
was low-hanging fruit. I apologize.
I wasn't going to touch it.
The positive thing about Pete in his basement is he has a lot of time to develop some things.
All by myself.
Indeed.
So you can go to the independent breweries and other spots aside from the locations at the restaurants to submit, pet food and dog and cat food for the strays, runaways. Will that get distributed to people with pets or to animal shelters and things like that?
It depends on who needs what.
Right.
That's Long Island Cares. That's their whole
that's what
thing.
they do. Yeah.
If it's shelters that need it, but there are families that are displaced and food insecure that need to take care of their pets as well. So they also have pet food and supplies.
Well, that's great. It goes beyond just food for beer then, which is nice for the people who may not want to give food to the homeless who think they're bums, but want to give food to the hungry and the stressed.
Why is everyone looking at me?
No, I wasn't even referring to you.
That's all in your head, man.
Take it down, Pete. Everything's
paranoid,
fine.
bro.
Talk you off the ledge. Have a sip. There you go. Have a sip.
There you go.
Beer.
Pete's back to
Back in my happy place.
Who's trouble?
So we started talking about the app, and I really want to get into that. So what other things can we find on the app besides the locations? I know that there are locations for glass and bracelet pickup. Tell us a little bit about that whole thing. Because I know I signed up personally for a glass that I have to go to Plainview for now on Monday between 5 or 3 and the closing. And now I'm going to be coming home, grabbing both my children, and running out to Plainview from Lyndhurst. But that's fine. I'll go grab my glass. I really do want the glass.
Well, everybody wants the glass.
Yes.
And we encourage everybody that goes and picks up a glass, stay, fill that glass. Have a Long Island beer, spend some money in the place that you got it at.
Right, and that's why they're choosing to be hubs of this.
Correct.
They want people to come in and have,
Right, that's,
And Dave, real quick, just to interrupt, and I'm sorry.
No,
but
don't be
Greg
sorry.
keeps texting me and saying, please say my name. So, Greg Martin, go fuck yourself.
You did it to yourself, Greg.
Hey, listen, you want to interrupt me for that anytime.
Wow. I love you, Greg. I love
Greg,
you.
Greg, you sexy man. We all love you. No, we all love Greg. Nobody doesn't love Greg, and that's
Now,
a rule.
tell me about Greg now that no one out there.
So Greg and Dan are the owners of Long Island.
Oh, okay, great. So thanks, Greg.
He's out there.
I
He's
don't
out
want to
there
tell you go
listening.
fuck yourself because I do like your beers.
Yes.
I like you to say hello to me when I show up at the tasting room.
And him and Dan will bludgeon you to
Yes.
death.
Yeah, they actually had a choice to become professional wrestlers or brewers.
Really?
Yeah. No.
No.
But if you actually fucking saw them, you would totally understand where I'm
Okay.
going with that.
No, I think I've seen pictures of them. Big burly men with beards. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I used to go to the shows and literally just stand there and drink breakfast stout for an hour.
Oh, yes.
Over much of the other things that were in the festivals. But we'll talk about that a little later when we get to your segments,
You're
Scott.
welcome, Greg. We're going to let Dave talk now.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you can step on me all day long. I don't care. I don't know what I'm saying anyway.
No, we were
so-
talking about the hubs where we can pick up glassware.
Right.
And so what we're basically trying to get people to go further out beyond the breweries and into the restaurants where local beer is being poured.
Right, and that's the thing. You know, a lot of the local scene is supported by all these great, like, independently owned places where they're pouring whatever they want to pour. And a lot of it happens to be, you know, Long Island craft, and that's what we encourage. Go in, get some beer while you're there, support them, support your Long Island brewery, support the week while you're there. And in the glass is a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
And the bracelet can be used...
I'm laughing at this now.
Are you farting?
No, he's rummaging through the beer. He's rummaging.
Where's the beer? Get the beer. Get the beer.
Listen, it's Steve. It's a valid question.
We never know what he's going to pull out of there.
but
You're
anyway,
not wrong.
so there's a bracelet. There's a
It's my
bracelet.
magical bag of tricks.
Nice.
Shut up. I'm talking. Shush. So anyway, there's a bracelet inside the glass.
You want to hear that?
Won't you take me too?
And there are some jerks like this guy. at the
And the
garage.
train has gone off the tracks.
It's like ADD heaven.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, well, this is my world. by
There
the
you
way.
go.
I'm okay with all this. But anyway, so the bracelet can be used. There's offers up there. People
Okay.
are, you know, some of them are just during Craft Beer Week. Some of them are continuing. You can bring that bracelet in and use it for a discount on pints or whatever have you. What are you offering?
We're going to be doing, if you buy 3 crowlers, you get $3 off.
Ooh, that's pretty good. $1 off a crowler.
Yeah, man.
But you have to buy 3.
You
Which
have
is
to buy
not
3.
easy.
Which is
not hard.
not hard.
And
Not
hard.
hard at all.
And we're going to do it for the whole month, rest of the month.
Excellent.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Very
So
cool.
all month of May.
Yeah, so all these offers, have most people submitted their
I've
offers?
got a few.
Okay.
You
It
wanna
didn't
get-
sound as promising. I got some of them, but that's my cue to tell
We can get a
everyone to
couple
get
of
their
There's a
shit
running
in.
list. There's a running list.
By the
It's
way,
growing.
if anybody's listening, can you please send me your fucking information?
I was
What
gonna-
you
I was going
plan
to
to
say
do.
that nicer.
Herding cats.
Yeah, no.
Did
Not
we
really.
say that before?
I don't.
Hey, listen, if there are any of the brewers out there, and I know there are probably some of you guys still listening from all of the social media that we have out there, the number here, 516-465-3990. Call in, ask Jackie or Dave any questions about Long Island Beer Week coming
Or
up
just
May
give them
11th through
shit.
20.
Greg,
Or
do
you
it,
just
Greg.
call in and
Call.
give absolute
Please
shit.
call and give
Call.
a shit.
Greg, call. Come on, Greg.
Greg keeps
Or
texting us
516
things
Greg's,
like
te-
513
Greg's
0515.
texting me now.
Yeah, I said anything you want to send me.
Greg,
the phone
just
number.
call, you idiot. Jesus Christ.
If you want to be part of the show, just call in.
Come on, Greg. All the cool kids are
Oh, the
doing
cool
it.
kids calling in.
The fuck is this?
Funky Town.
I was like, wait, what just happened? I have no idea what's going on right now.
I had to put it in there somewhere. It's like the start or the bridge that no one really knows about, but they're so used to the choruses that it's fine. I don't know. Sometimes I just ADD it up.
Listen, I am
company.
truly in ADD heaven because usually it's me going off the tracks constantly. Everybody else is doing it. This is fantastic.
So each brewery is going to have their own thing that the bracelet kind of gives them their own sort of unique passport almost in a sense.
Right, you
throughout
know,
the
and it's
week in
something
the
that-
month, like Steve was saying.
Right, like I'm still playing with it. I think I put something up for myself, but I don't
did
even
not.
remember because that was days ago.
You
I
did a
didn't-
free
She's-
Delport
Jackie's
cold beer
going,
soda shirt.
No,
Oh,
you,
no,
you
no.
didn't
I
send me
told-
shit.
I didn't get it.
I told Jonathan to do it. So whatever.
And that's why.
That's not helpful.
That's not helpful.
That's
He
not
delegated.
Jonathan, we love you.
Delegated.
No,
Um,
That's helpful for getting it on the website. It's not going to get it into the app.
Dave's giving
the
$20
app,
off a
but-
case.
Dave,
mind.
Dave's.
There's-
I'm renting rooms in my cardboard hut. Okay, so eventually it'll be up there. I don't
Right.
remember what it was, but the point.
When you get Jackie, do you have a web designer? Do you have an app designer? Is that who's doing it, or are you doing this?
I'm building the web.
Wow. So
The
you
whole web.
have some web experience?
The whole web.
Her and Al Gore took care of it.
So you
I created webs,
Okay.
all of them, all of the
webs,
apps.
all
Okay.
the time.
I heard it's a series of tubes.
So you have a little bit of idea what was going on.
There we go.
There you go.
Did he text
Yes,
you also?
he did.
Greg, call us, Greg.
Greg
Cut it out.
Has gone around the room and texted everybody that's in this room.
He's been
that's-
asking
to tell
us
him,
to yell
"Can
like
I come
Ric
on?"
Flair. He's like, just yell woo like Ric Flair. Steve finally did it.
516-465-3990. Greg,
he
give
knew
us
where
a
to
call
go
or
when he
anybody out
really.
there.
He knew where his money was going to be spent. Well,
Yeah, it's Steve.
Come join in the train ride that we're on right now.
Train ride, train wreck.
You're right.
The
No,
mature-
no, it's a train ride right now.
The maturity level in the craft beer industry is very, very high.
yes, it is.
Pinky's out all over the place drinking the beers. So what else should I attempt to scroll through the app here? What else should I be looking at? Anything else of merit that I should kind of really focus in on besides the event list and the calendar and the hubs and things like that?
The maps are pretty cool.
There's a map
Yeah, there's a map.
of Long Island?
Well, the map
Schenectady.
has everybody.
I'm fairly certain we
We're
all know
gonna
what that looks like.
The North Shore is hilly and rocky. The South Shore is smooth and sandy. See, fourth grade Long Island history.
The big
Yeah.
line on the
Perfect.
LIE, just traffic. All
That's
the way there.
it.
Now, if you go into the map section on the app, that one it shows where everybody is pinpointed
Oh,
on
okay.
the whole map as far as who is participating, and then if you click on any of those markers, it pulls up who you're looking at there.
And is that something that's even out there right now? Like,
up?
can you find a Long Island beer map on the internet somewhere?
You can. It is because of the growth. It is so friggin' incomplete, and
Yeah.
and nobody's fault because nobody's really
Who's responsible for keeping it? Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. You know, we've gone from 2005. There were 6 breweries. We're at 64 and growing.
Wow.
64?
64. And literally, like in the
it was like
last
40
few
something
months,
like-
there's
Well,
a
there's 60
couple
when
that
you
just
say
open.
planning and
Mhm.
everything.
It feels like every few months
Yeah.
there's a few that
Someone
open.
new, yeah.
That's exactly
3 this
what's
year?
happening.
Yeah.
Yep, 3
Oh,
this
yeah.
year.
I was at the Small Craft, and I did not go to. Is Six Harbors open yet?
Yeah, I
They-
believe they
They
were-
did their opening weekend.
When I was there on Friday, Mark said he was looking at having a soft opening on that night, kind of
That's what I saw then.
just a an impromptu sort of thing, and he is open for business. Apparently, Town of Huntington is really supportive of them because it gives them great hours.
Like an open till.
Like
4 in the afternoon.
I believe.
You get 11 to 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Great lunch crowd.
I think if no, don't quote me on this if I'm wrong, but I think he said that the Saturdays he's open till midnight.
Jesus.
Jeez.
I'm looking at his website. He's open Mondays 11 to 10. It looks like 11 to 10, and then
So he is going to have
And
a
he's,
lunch
and
crowd.
he's
That's for
looking
damn
at
sure.
Yeah.
he's
Wow.
looking at having
Good
7
for
days
him.
a week. So I mean, they're giving them a huge.
Well, what
Huge
a
space.
difference between them and Northport, huh?
No shit.
What a packs of assholes over there.
Well,
Packs of
they
assholes.
did have
They
a
did let
problem
him
at the beginning, though.
Who did? Huntington? Oh,
Six.
the
Oh, I
six.
think we had a call.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, we'll get back to that in just a moment. Is the Wort with Mike and Pete? Who am I talking to?
Hey, how you doing? It's Greg from Long Island.
Hey, Greg, how you doing? He called in, guys. He made it.
Greg, first things first, are you wearing pants?
Am I what?
Are you wearing pants?
I couldn't hear you.
He
sorry.
said, "Are you wearing,
pants? Damn it!
You know what? I'm wearing shorts today, but I am fully clothed, if that's the question.
Boo.
Disappointing. Disappointing, to say the least.
Am I the only one that's okay with that?
You might be, Pete.
You all should be very comfortable with the fact that
Hey, Greg, was today a brew day? What are you working on right now? Are you at the brewery?
No, I'm at home making chicken fajitas.
You can really have chicken fajitas post Cinco de Mayo?
You know what? I didn't even have anything Mexican on Cinco de Mayo, so I guess I got to make up for it. Actually, I think I've had Mexican every day since Cinco de Mayo.
Does anybody ever tell you sound like Scott Farrell? If anyone knows who Scott Farrell is.
I do know who's
Yeah. Doesn't he sound like Scott Farrell?
I never thought about
Greg,
that.
do me a favor. Say, shake it up.
Shake it up.
Yeah. Fucking Scott Farrell's on the phone, folks. That's
have no idea
fantastic.
who that is.
I will play it for you tomorrow, Greg.
He's an old DJ, yeah. Scotty will tell you who it is. Yeah, your voice sounds just like Scott Farrell. That's awesome.
Oh, you guys are doing a great job on the podcast, honestly. It's just the Ric Flair woo was actually my buddy Brian, who was texting me like an animal to text you guys.
All right.
But so that really wasn't for me. But
I was glad
appreciate
you
it.
obliged.
You know, I should have gone to Steve first because I knew that he would have no hesitation in doing it.
I was trying to get Dave through the professional stuff till we drank, and then I would have given you all the woos you want.
Well, you know, sometimes you need a woo to get things rolling. But,
Just
but you guys
loosen
did
the
a great
tension,
job with
baby.
the podcast, and you know, honestly, Jackie and Dave have done a wonderful job, and Paul Komsic have done a wonderful job with Craft Beer Week this year. So it's been a great job by those guys. So we're looking forward to it.
Hey, Greg, out at the brewery, what are you guys doing event-wise between May 11th and May 20th?
I have no idea. I barely even work there. I don't even know why they let me in the building.
It's a good fucking thing I showed up tonight.
I think honestly, I don't think we're doing anything specific at the brewery.
Friday night.
You're having a karaoke.
I wasn't
Friday.
even
I
invited.
know this one.
That's
I
Friday.
wasn't even invited. Yeah, I guess there's a podcast
Friday.
that's going on, Films on Tap podcast.
Oh, okay, I
and-
know
And
them.
what's
Yeah.
behind that?
And then Duets with Dan, which is a costume and karaoke party. See, my partner Dan is like 6'4", bald. He describes himself as a horse because he looks like a biker, but he's never been in a fist fight his whole life. You know, he's just a very assuming person when you see him visually, and he's not the kind of guy you'll ever get to sing karaoke. But there is a little secret formula. And it's someplace between beer and Jameson.
It's
And
definitely more on
then
the
you may
Jameson
get like
side.
Prince Raspberry Beret. You may get, ABBA. You don't know what's going to come out.
Ooh, Dancing Queen, a little Dancing Queen.
And he's
Never
also
know.
he's
Never
also
know.
big enough to just make you sing, whether you want to or not. So that's the interesting part of it.
That sounds like you're in the brewery making chicken fajitas. Jeez.
He's killing the goddamn chickens, I think.
You hear my chihuahua? That's my chihuahua.
Speaking of Cinco de Mayo,
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
We were discussing Chinese restaurants before.
So I'll let you guys get back
I was
to
getting
it.
there. I was developing something. So, Greg, what do we got on tap? I know I probably should ask Scott.
Fuck it,
But
I'm leaving.
I'd rather hear.
I'll just keep drinking.
I'd rather hear from the brewer just for a moment.
I think we have 12 lines of Barrage on right now.
Guest tops for days. Guest taps for days.
No, we've got all the usual suspects, which is our year-round beers, and then we've got Summer Ale, our seasonal, and I think we've got Most Def IPA on, which is kind of a seasonal, once-a-year IPA we put out, and some other stuff. So
have that
it's
here for
most
you
of the
guys.
usual suspects and a couple of new ones in there as well.
Awesome.
No
Nice.
Baylor?
Baylor's always on. That's
okay.
That's a year
that's a
round.
usual suspect, my friend.
Drinking that right now.
Love Baylor.
Cool
All right,
gets down.
look
Baylor.
at it. There he is.
There's some in the bag
Nice.
right behind you, buddy.
Woo!
Oh, and Scotty brought some Baylor.
Yeah, we better get to it
Rock
quick
and
before
roll,
Steve and
baby.
Dave drink it
Bro,
all.
there's no more left, man. I don't know what you guys have been doing up there, but I'm back here.
Quite an
Steve's drinking.
abundance of wooing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't text me for one.
You know what? I literally, after I got Steve to do it, I was in the process of texting you, and I was just going to put, "Hi, Jackie." But I felt I'd been disruptive enough.
Never.
So, all right, I'm going to go fajita my ass up in the kitchen right now. You guys keep at it. I got you on the big screen TV, and I'll keep watching
Ooh,
along.
nice.
Have fun, guys.
Wait, are you watching on our YouTube stream?
Yes.
Wow, is it working fine? You can hear everything? Everything's good?
You know what? I pulled it on my phone and I just mirrored it to my TV.
Smart,
But yes,
smart
it's,
idea.
Everything's running smooth.
Yep, I love it.
Hey,
Thanks.
Greg, do you see why I'm wearing this Long Island shirt? Because fucking Mike didn't give me a shirt for the podcast.
Oh, I thought it was because it made you look huge, dude. my 18-year-old son walks in the room, and he knows Scott, and he's like, "Where's Scott?" I'm like, "Scott's sitting right there, man. He's on the left." He goes, "He looks like the Joe Rogan post."
We don't have any mushrooms here, and we don't have any hunting gear, so I guess we can't.
I'm
make
out.
sure.
Did anyone bring any elk?
You guys are going in for the float tank after this?
Yes. Self-depre. No, was it deprivation tank?
Yeah,
Yeah,
deprivation
exactly. Float
tank,
tank.
yep.
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be interesting. A self-deprivation
Isn't
tank.
Isn't that
I
kind
don't
of
know why I went.
masturbation at home, Steve? I'm not quite sure, but
I don't know why I went there, but maybe I should more often.
Because why not?
More often.
Pete works in his basement.
And Pete works by
I do.
himself in the basement. All by myself.
Greg, we appreciate you calling in, buddy. You go back and eat those fajitas.
Yep, absolutely.
Enjoy.
Man. You guys keep up the great work. Thanks again.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Later, buddy.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.
Greg, Long Island. Listen, we got to take a break. It's getting hot in here, and we got to air this shit out.
Yeah.
I got the air conditioner on, and it's 64, and there's no way in God's green earth that
Fuck no,
that's
it's
64
not.
degrees in
No
here.
chance.
That's what happens when you pack the
No,
studio.
I'm officially sweating like Mike Tyson at a spelling bee right
Nice.
It might be a shirtless night.
My vagina's weeping.
Kars. K-A-R-S.
Can you sing that for us?
My vagina's weeping.
What a lovely tune. Unfortunately, I don't have that for our break. Spotify doesn't quite have my vagina weeping. I've searched it. I can't find it.
You know what? You got to look for "While My Vagina
Oh,
Gently
yeah.
Weeps."
Wow.
there we
That's
go.
why you didn't find it.
By the way, I do have vagina on my mind, so maybe
There you go.
we'll play that going into
When
break.
isn't it?
What? Who is it?
When isn't it?
Oh, that's a good point. All right, this is the Work with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com, YouTubeLive.com. We're in
Back
the
in a few.
studio with Scott from Long Island. We got Jacki and Dave. Dave from Bellport, cold beer and soda. And of course,
All right, you did it right.
and of course, Steve from Barrage. We'll be right back after this.
Govs Radio. This is the Wort on Govs Radio.
Whiskey, beer, and wine, vagina on my mind. Gonna drink a whole bunch and hound every honey inside. Whiskey, beer, and wine, vagina on my mind.
Long Beach, Oyster Bay, Sand City, St. James, Spider Bite, and Brewers Collective.
Good that's an ass-kicking lineup right there.
Lineup. Jesus Christ.
It's
solid.
It's a lot of beer.
Killer. For $30.
For
$30 bucks.
$30 killer, man.
$30.
Yeah,
that is pretty great.
You can drink
solid.
all of them as much as you want.
There are
in
no
3 hours.
festivals, no cask fest, anything that are $30, and you're going to get these breweries involved.
Absolutely. Now I can
And
figure out a way to get out
you're
of
going
work.
to have the brewers.
Oh, well, you mean
there.
at your
You get
basement.
the brewers and representation from the breweries. So it's not you know, not that there's anything wrong with this, but it's not that we're going to have volunteers there pouring for them. It's you're going to get it from where it's coming from, and you get.
Steve's going to be there pouring his beers.
Doing what Steve does.
I will be.
I hope that's not a
First,
detriment.
Aaron's going to get there first because it's a little early, but I will be there.
There we go.
Hey,
Sorry.
whoa.
Nice.
Oh,
Perfect.
oh, that sounded familiar.
So, by the way, I just opened up a nice Most Def Mosaic IPA from Long Island.
Thanks, Greg.
It is a double. Is it a double?
No,
it's just a 2-hop Mosaic and Centennial.
Yeah,
Exactly.
nice.
Comes in a 6.2, and it sounds and smells delicious.
It's fantastic.
I'm gonna go ahead and touch
Yummy.
this a little bit.
And,
really good
and it's
stuff.
most deaf. It is.
Showing your age.
Most Def gonna enjoy that.
If I come over there and
You're the only one older than me.
Ooh, we have a call.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Is it a
This
lady?
is
that
where-
my mom?
Is that my mom?
Mommy,
Peter, Scotty, Steven, come home.
stop cursing so much.
This is the Work with Mike and Pete. Who do we got?
Where's Jackie?
Jackie's here.
Jackie.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I know that voice. I think that's Frank.
There it is.
Oh, it's Frank.
Frank, isn't it past your bedtime?
Hey, listen, you know what I'm doing for opening day of Craft Beer
Baseball?
Week?
What are you doing?
I'm afraid.
I'm going to make cheese.
You're gonna make cheese?
And I could tell that Frank's into his 6th pint right about now.
Well,
I'm actually making cheese at the Craft. No.
Yeah?
At the Brush Barn in Smithtown.
You're actually making chease.
for real
I'm
cheese.
actually going to make cheese, yes.
How about you
what
churn
kind
some
of
butter
cheese?
for us?
Right. I'm not doing anything beer related. I'll probably stop at Spider Bite before I go home.
Frank, you're being serious.
Really? No.
Yeah,
No,
he
I'm
is.
actually serious.
He's
Are you,
totally
are, you,
serious.
are you dying? Like, did you get away from it? Like, what happened?
You
What's
don't
going on, dude?
understand.
Is
You
there
don't
something we
understand.
should know?
She's
No,
making
you listen,
motherfucker.
you don't understand about my wife.
Oh, here we go.
You know, what you say is
You know
being
what, I'm-
recorded,
yeah.
so be
Very
so
careful
tread
right now.
lightly, my friend.
Listen, when she's home on Friday nights, I don't go out. I do what she wants to do, and she has an agenda.
Right.
And
the agenda is put the
Friday
strap on her.
is cheese making class.
Cheese
Like
making.
she's writing
So,
something.
I get it. So your wife's making. I get it. I totally understand. You're good for you. Good luck.
Right.
Just so you know,
Pussy.
just so you know who Frank is. Just so you know who Frank is. Frank is the new president of the
I
Long
am,
Island
yes.
Beer and Malt Enthusiasts.
Oh,
It's
wow,
a
there you
homebrew
go.
club, which has actually produced a whole bunch of
Oh,
our,
yes.
our local
And also,
brewers.
if
Yes.
you
Frank
happen
Fellatio
to
is his name, by the way.
if you
Frankie
find them on
Fellatio.
Facebook, there's a fancy picture of him up there with their new collab beer with
Yeah,
Long
we're still
Island.
trying to get that thing printed out. Ethan is at some chorus class.
Ethan?
with his
Don't
kids
say
right now.
his name more
Wait,
than
please.
twice, Frankie.
He'll show up.
Are we counting on
Beetlejuice,
Ethan?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yes.
It's under here. It's under there.
See,
It's going to be
Frank,
a pain in the ass.
I don't know if you're watching, but
Gad, you guys go
Pete
talk to
broke
Frank.
down
I'll have
something.
Pete out.
we're having
For those of you on the YouTube live stream, Pete's mic just randomly fell off.
That was the poltergeist. I
And that
saw
was
it.
what the entire.
That's because we called Beetlejuice.
That's
That's
it.
right.
Or,
Right
or
there.
the
That's
other
it
one
right
who
there.
shall not.
Oh, no, you're good now. There you go.
Got
Got
it. You.
Woo!
All right, good. We're back on. And
No
we're
problem.
back.
And we're back.
Sweet.
Hi, Frank.
So,
It's the
Frank,
man in the box.
Frank, were you brewing today?
No, I was working today.
You're a liar.
He was making cheese.
No, he wasn't. He was
No,
making sawdust.
I was out working today.
He was making sawdust.
You're a carpenter?
Yes, I am.
You got to the union? You want to give a shout out to your union?
Self.
Cheese.
No, fuck that union.
Ask Dave. Ask Dave what the hell I did for him last Thursday, Friday.
Ooh, what'd you do? What did
Hey
you do
now.
Dave?
I can,
well,
I can
well,
be,
let's-
Dave, before you say this, I can tell you, Frank, you said fuck a lot more than you did work.
No. There was a lot of F-bombs.
There was a
on
ton of
Thursday, Friday.
F-bombs. Well, every time we went another 3 or 4 inches back in the ceiling, there was an F-bomb because we were like, shit, we got to take down more. Frank actually came over, and we ended up demoing. We were supposed to do a small job. It turned into a major job, and we were demoing the ceiling in my walk-in box.
Oh, all right.
We had to strip it all the way to the corners and the rafters. Everything was garbage. We pulled it down by our hands. But Frank's awesome. Frank's a great home brewer. Frank's a good dude. Frank has a cardboard cutout fake son.
And he makes cheese now.
And he makes cheese. And he's an awesome carpenter. And he's a great home brewer. And I love this dude.
And my cardboard son has actually a Facebook page.
Yes.
Yes, he
Flat
does.
Frank. You can look on Flat Frank.
Flat Frank. Yep. He has
that's
his own Facebook
fantastic.
page.
Isn't social media wonderful?
He has more likes than I do.
Exactly.
Flat Frank
That's
goes
crazy.
on lots of adventures all around the globe.
Flat Frank, I think, went to Europe.
Nice. I didn't get to go to Europe, but
Dude.
Flat Frank made it.
People take Flat Frank, and they actually take him with them on trips, so they can take pictures,
Wait.
which is crazy.
The backstory of Flat Frank was that this was created and then immediately stolen from Frank. So,
And
well,
Flat Frank
was live. He is actually
He's a real person.
Flat Frank actually
he's actually a real kid.
Yes. Who is not
He's
named
a
Frank.
real kid. I took a photo of him, and then Ethan Meyer stole my photo and
Say
created
that
a
name
Flat
again.
Frank.
That's two.
That's two.
That's two.
Because-
Frank, do not do it again.
Say Candyman 3 times.
Yeah.
It's over.
He's gonna appear in the reflection of the television in the hallway.
This kid looks just like Frank. It's amazing. It looks like it could be his son. So Frank took a picture because it was amazing likeness, and then the picture was stolen. The cutout was stolen, and it became a thing.
I have a doppelganger. I met a doppelganger at a bar one
We
time.
don't care about your doppelganger.
All right, fuck you.
I lost him
And
at
there we go.
Bobby's-
It
I lost him
starts.
at Bobby's Halloween
Dave's getting
party.
cocky over there.
No, this is normal me. I'm a jackass. We discussed this before.
There you go. I got
Sorry,
something
Frank,
for you.
go
Well,
ahead.
you know what's great? It's the first and last time Dave will be on. So,
Go ahead,
we'll
Frank.
enjoy that shit.
Let Frank tell a story. Go ahead, Frank.
All right, no. So I lost him
So buttons.
at Bobby Rodriguez's Halloween party.
Bobby
I took him. I
That's
took
Po'
him with
Boy.
me. I dressed him up, and I left him behind.
And he's
And
At Po' Boy?
Yes.
I raped him.
He's
I
a
left
bad
the
daddy.
cardboard. No, not the real kid.
No. Bad daddy left his kid behind.
I left my cardboard cutout sign behind, and I never seen him again.
and he's traveled all over the world.
Wait. No. You did see him the next year at the Halloween party
Well, yeah, I've never had him in my possession again.
because he immediately disappeared again.
Right, I see him. I'm in the same tasting room, and he pops up when I turn my back.
Behind the bar with a mustache
Yeah,
on and
whatever.
suspenders.
Mash ton, whatever.
Just for reference.
Would you?
That's
this
a
is-
creepy likeness.
Oh
by the
my
way.
God.
Scott's showing us the pictures.
Yeah.
That's,
Right now, hey Frank. Right now,
Oh,
Scott
yeah.
is showing the guys the picture of you and the picture of Flat Frank.
For the YouTube live people, I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it.
That's Flat Frank.
That's
That's
Flat
legit.
Frank there.
Wait, show him the picture of real Frank.
And then I'll show you the picture of real Frank here. I'll hold that up to the camera.
Frank,
as
are you
well.
watching this or
Wait.
just listening?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay.
Well,
And there's real.
we all see
There's
it
real
now.
Frank. And that's his wife who puts up with his nonsense.
With his
Beautiful wife.
nonsense.
Yeah.
I got a little music clip it for you because when you said it, just like Frank, there you go.
Yeah, I'll just get the blank screen. I just hear it.
Well, here it is. You can hear it now.
Blank screen.
And a little shout out for you. That's easy. Done.
Done.
We'll play that one in the break for you so you can enjoy the entire musical tribute to Frank tonight.
Oh, there it is. The gunshot. Stupid fucking.
And we didn't even say Wort, but usually when we... There it is. There's,
damn it.
There's a sound
I hate
effect.
that fucking sound
I know. I got to load the can opener sound. And you know what? I isolated it, too. Like, over the weeks, I've been isolating all the can opens. Nope. Still
There's
haven't
like
put it on this
16
thing.
from
I
tonight.
know.
I've done about 5.
For yourself?
That's why he's peeing in the corner.
Yes.
Well, I don't have a wee-wee pad for him tonight, so...
Pee in your pants is cool.
That's-
Steve
That's
Miles
right.
Davis.
That's right.
Miles Davis.
Frank,
Yeah.
how's everything going tonight?
Go great. Yeah.
Making cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Frank, opening the pack of American singles is not making cheese.
No, he's more class. He's the Velveety scoop.
Nice. Cheese whiz.
Frank, are you going to attend an event where you can share this cheese with?
No, we're actually making real, probably going to make goat cheese or something.
Why don't you make beer cheese?
Yeah, we're going to make beer cheese. I don't know what the hell I'm making.
All right.
I don't know what the hell I'm making.
going because my wife is wonderful, and she keeps me up to date and keeps me,
cheesy.
That is true.
Instead of just, doing beer shit.
Right.
I can make
do cheddar.
cheese.
Okay, Frank, I am with you 100%.
Speaking of beer shit, how do you think those look the next day after eating beer and cheese?
Yeah.
With all that cheese, bro.
Well, you either have too much or nothing.
You're right.
That's the way cheese works.
See, that should have had the machine gun right there. After
Yeah. I got it. It's right there. That's going right into the toilet.
Right. So anybody want to make cheese tomorrow or 7 o'clock? Wait.
Nope, Friday.
Friday.
Come on,
Sorry,
Alex.
I thought today was Thursday.
You really are making cheese, though?
We're making cheese.
Okay.
Friday at the Spintown Historical
And now, is
Society.
that going to be part of Craft Beer Week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Frank said so, goddammit.
We're going to do a beer and cheese pairing on Saturday.
Nice. If I come in with a bracelet, do I get some free brie?
You don't even need a bracelet. You
Nice.
Just come and eat my cheese.
Pomunder.
Yes, my Pomunder cheese.
Was that Steve? Because that's so Steve.
Of course it was.
Shut up. You're so mature.
Steve, you're awesome. You should be listening. You got to call into the show every single week. Every week I need you.
Me and Frank making cheese.
Well, Dave will have to text me to call in because I know nothing.
That's why we get along, Frank, because I know shit myself.
Yeah. I don't even know how to turn the computer on.
Well, what if we did like a solo segment of Frank Does Cheese? And every week we do like a 20-minute podcast, a quickie of just him talking about
I don't know. After I learn how to make cheese, I'll probably do like a YouTube video on how to make it. So.
Well, you got to send it over to us. We'll repost it and send it up
I'll
on
have
our
to
website.
Put it in the mail.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, I got the thing in the mail, so you're all good.
Okay, cool. Great.
Frank, I'm telling you now, I'm going to call into that fucking podcast the second it starts.
In the mail.
Through the mail.
With a rotary phone.
Right. Me and Dave, the only guys that use post office anymore.
Yeah.
Pony Express.
Yes. I mail things.
Smoke signals.
I do that.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't even think I go to the bank
Frank
anymore.
and I
Now I'm
don't
thinking
under-
about it.
Frank and I don't really understand anything else, so we just mail shit back and forth.
It's funny you say
Yeah,
that.
I got to send my wife to the bank tomorrow.
There you go. Thanks, Frank. Anything else you got on the docket tomorrow? We can do scheduling with grads. You can really help out.
Gotta go to the post office.
Yeah, Frank, you need to put stuff in your
Got a
Microsoft
bowel
Assistant.
movement
What do you
to
got
the
going
left.
on?
If you really want to know, I got my yearly physical tomorrow, and then
See, I was right on target.
Oh, Frank, are you getting a digital exam tomorrow?
Whoa.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, all right, good.
Excuse me, Mr.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, minus the copay, I will do that for you, buddy.
I can help you out with that.
Can you please cough?
You seem like a
My
healthy
annual
man. Have some more
PSA.
beer.
My wife's a nurse. And she keeps she's the most. She's the most awesome nurse, right? Oh, she's an incredible nurse who works hard.
She's twisting his nuts right
wait,
now.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that.
Wait, who is standing right next to me right now?
She's like pointing
With
her
the
finger
cheese
at me.
knife.
I can attest Frank's wife's awesome.
Frank, that seems I can attest your wife is awesome, but she's only awesome because she's trying to keep you alive, and we're all wondering
Exactly.
why.
That's why she sends me to the dentist, and she sends me to the doctor.
Cough twice if she's keeping you up to this.
And then probably, I think next month I got to go to the eye doctor.
Oh, by the way, because he can't see shit either, just like me.
Yeah, Frank,
Well,
if
we
she's
showed
making you do this, mail us a letter.
We'll get it in 3 to
Next
5
week.
business days.
That's right.
And then we'll send a pony.
Yes. Pigeon carrier. I like the pigeon carrier with a little note on its foot.
They're making fun of our age, Frank.
Yeah, I know.
You guys aren't
You
that
guys are
old.
probably like
Come on.
20, right?
And then Scott, as Joe Rogan, just shoot it out of the air.
I know. Scott's face says he's in his early 30s, but his hairline says 40s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that rough? I'm
Hey,
sorry.
fuck you
Did I
all.
say-
I'm going to be 50
This
in
is
July.
Jufro
so you can
talking
all-
about
Hey,
it
you
over
look
here.
good for 50.
My shit's falling out. I know. I'm okay with it.
All right.
Awkward silence.
Maybe Dave should go to Doggy if his shit is falling out.
That's so.
We
Craft
just
Beer
beat the
Week
bottle
has been
of
great.
Should we mention our
We would like-
sponsors
we
now?
would-
Is this the right time?
We would like everyone
And the
to
show has reached a new low.
show up at Craft Beer Week.
Wait, was I part of a new low? I'm going to cry.
By the way, you're listening to Wort with Mike and Pete on GovsRadio.com. The phone number here, 516-465-3990. 516-513-0515. Call in, join the show with Frank. Frank's having a grand old time here on the phone with us.
Right, we just downed a bottle of Jägermeister.
Yeah!
Small bottle.
Yes! And making cheese, motherfuckers.
Maybe that's a good concept, Jaeger cheese.
Jaeger cheese.
Ooh.
I would
try
like
it.
the idea.
Bitter, delicious,
Shout out to Cindy.
lovely.
And a Blue Point hazy bastard.
That's great.
Frank, let me ask you, are you a Simon or you're a Garfunkel fan? Which one?
I really don't know.
Garfunkel. The hair. It's Garfunkel. Always.
Well, I looked at Garfunkel when I was a kid.
See, I don't.
You looked up to Garfunkel? as a
No, he
kid?
looked like
I
Garfunkel.
Oh, he looked like Garfunkel.
I had a red afro like Garfunkel.
Oh, you did? Wow, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the pictures again. Wow. All right, great. That must have been an easy childhood.
I'll mail you a picture.
Make sure you do it in crayon so I can see. All right, Frank. Thanks a lot for calling in,
Thanks for
buddy.
calling.
We really
Thanks,
appreciate
buddy.
it.
All right, guys, enjoy, all right?
Be
Have
good,
fun,
man.
Will do.
Frank.
Take care.
All right,
Later,
later. Oh boy, listen, back-to-back phone calls.
Oh, boy.
Let's see. Let's patch this one right in. This is the Wort with Mike and Pete. Who do we got?
O'Toole.
Oh,
I
fuck.
fucking knew it.
I knew this was going to happen.
Pete, I love you.
What's up, Graz?
So,
Hey.
ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me get you intro. You always want to just burst right into the room like the Kool-Aid man. Relax for a second.
This is the guy you told us about.
Yes. I always pre-warn every guest about the Graz today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is hold on. Kool-Aid.
Chill out,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Relax. All right, this is Anthony Graziday, host of Limo Talk here on GovsRadio.com. Anthony, what are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm just trying to problem solve. Are you having a problem with the air in that studio, Mr. O'Toole?
Yes, sir. We had to open all the doors and keep the air conditioner on, and now we got a nice flow of cool and refreshing air.
Lots of ball sweat in the room.
And you got great breweries in there. You got Barrage in there and
Yep.
New Ireland, right?
Long Ireland.
Jesus Christ, I
New
liked it till
Ireland.
just now.
All right, well, I'm sorry. Listen, I do limo talk. I'm not the work with you. You know what I'm saying?
It's so true. He sticks to sports and
prostitutes.
transportation talk.
I just want to let you know that the big bosses are listening tonight. You got the stamp of approval.
Wow. Who's listening?
I'm not letting you know that. I can't tell you that. I just can tell you the top bosses are listening tonight, and the Word is the top show on GovsRadio.com.
By the way, as far
They
as I'm
still don't
concerned,
know who I am, right?
Yeah, no, they don't know who Pete is.
Terrific.
Perfect.
No, Pete, you have no idea who you are.
Just the way he likes
Our
it.
goal in life is to
Great.
fly under the radar. I have not flown under the radar by any means by being here, but for the most part, we would like to keep our tenure for here as long as we possibly can.
Oh,
And-
you're going to be there for a very long time.
Sweet, dude.
Listen, that beer show's kicking butt. Where is this thing going to be? A Saturday night at Croxley's?
Yeah, so Croxley's, we're doing a live show at Croxley's in Farmingdale. We'll be there from 5 to about 7 o'clock, maybe a little later. We'll be there with
I'm
it.
drinking after.
Well, that's fine. I got nothing to do at night, so I'll be with you. And I'm just saying we're going to be broadcasting. Nice.
Sorry.
From 5
Bless
to
you.
we'll be broadcasting 5 to 7. We're not going to be live, Graz. We're not going to be able to do a remote live. We'll do recordings, and then we're going to go ahead and chop them up and edit them up and bring them into the show at the end of the month.
This is
just
quite frankly the best show in the world.
oh wow.
Well, Grass, if you got nothing to do, I will be at Republic across the street from 2 to 5, and then I'm going to go see these guys at 5 o'clock.
Nice.
We'll have Scott come over and hang out with us for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm going to bring Scott
I
Farrell
met
with
one
me,
of the
too.
guys at the Dark Horse the other night. The guy
Uh-huh.
was great. I don't know if that was Scott from Barrage, but
Well, no,
No,
you.
that'd be Steve.
Steve from Barrage.
All right, so we're done with Graz for now.
Sorry,
I'm just
guys.
kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it's Scott from Long Island. It's Steve from Barrage. I know the names are a lot on the phone and listening in, but the
I'm
guys
Steve
at Dark
from
Horse.
Barrier.
Who's that? Yeah, Steve from Barrier, on Oceanside. Any of you guys were at Dark Horse on what night?
I was not.
That
I
was
had a beard, about 5'9", red hair, and a beard.
And I think
Had a-
Pete and I are the only ones with semi-beards tonight, so.
I don't think.
Yeah, was that was your son?
He had a great Barrage shirt on. He was the nicest
Adam?
guy in the world. You guys
my
are great.
God,
I
is Adam
bought,
there, man?
Ah, he might have
Did,
been.
did he have lots of tattoos?
Yes.
Yes,
Ah,
so
that's Adam. Okay.
Yeah, that is
kid
Steve's
representing.
son.
you got to talk
who's
to your son about freaking Graz.
way cooler
Oh,
and
Talk to him
not
about
as
that
much of an
experience.
asshole.
Friend, I bought a growler from them. I had bought a growler. See, guys, I'm trying to give back for the Wort. So I went to Barrage, and where was the other one I went to, O'Toole?
Where did you end up?
Barrier?
No, you didn't go to Barrier.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, you went to Barrage.
I went to the one in Hicksville, and I went to the one in
Oh,
Farmingdale.
Barn Shed.
Barn Shed.
Barn Shed in Hicksville.
Yeah, Brian's place. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I bought growlers, so now I got to come to you guys and buy a growler for my show.
Well,
So
you're gonna
I'll
have
be
to
there
travel out to Riverhead, and
Oh,
then come
wow.
all the way back to
Oh,
Levittown.
wow.
No,
But that's
fuck
fine.
that. Send me a limo and I'll bring a beer to
Exactly. Now you
I
got
will
the right
do
idea.
that. If you
Yeah.
want me to do that,
you. Done.
I'll send you.
Wow.
I'll
I'll tell you
Do
what.
it.
You
Do
send
it.
me a limo, I'll bring Greg and myself. here.
Oh!
Epic.
Woo!
Hey,
Right.
O'Toole, you don't have to come in on Thursday. I got enough people coming
Yeah,
in.
you sure do. Jesus Christ. Hey, listen, did you hear Greg's call-in before?
I got you guys when Uncle Frank was on the phone.
All right, so
I got you guys with the flat. I guess there's a flat top Frank.
yeah, you tuned into the right part, Chris. Good job.
And I heard the vagina song, which I was.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, all right.
Well, then that's all that counts. You missed the first segment, but we had Greg from Long Island call in, and he sounds just like Scott Farrell. Scott Farrell is a.
Oh, hey, you got great beer, man.
Yeah, see?
There it is. He's got it. You know it. You know it.
And Scott Farrell is a friend of Graz and a couple of the guys on the show, and he called in a few times to Limo Talk, talked a little bit about radio, and of course, Scott Farrell on the bench, part of the NBC network.
CBS
where he
Radio.
Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up.
CBS Radio, I'm on 10
Oh,
10 to
CBS,
2,
not NBC.
10
That's
to
right.
2.
That's right. And he
Got
hosts
beer,
his
got
own
beer.
he hosts his own show where he gives all the football picks for the week, and he's pretty well known in that business. But Graz, are you out driving people around tonight? What are you doing?
I'm actually going to Sideliners in Lindenhurst to meet D-Train for a drink. Hector Louise supposed to do a supposedly supposed to be doing a, what do they call those things when you go up to the mic when there's people at Starbucks, open mic?
What?
Harassment?
That's called ordering your coffee.
Well,
There's an open micer in Lindenhurst tonight?
At Starbucks.
I'm in Lindenhurst meeting D-Train for a cocktail in about 5 minutes.
The D train is rolling in. All right, listen, if I get out of here at a decent time, I might stop by. It's literally, I'm passing it on my way home.
Well, I'm kind of lost because I've been talking to you guys. As you're
I'm not
driving.
giving you directions,
I think I'm about
Graz.
to go
There's
by
an
Google
app
Maps.
called, there's an app
Google
called
Maps.
Waze.
God damn it.
I'm on the phone. You know, Pete, go fuck yourself. I'm on the
There it
phone
is.
trying to entertain a couple of people, and O'Toole's actually keeping me on.
That's very nice.
That was actually Flat Frank.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen. All I got to say is the word with Pete and the Penis is
Oh,
the greatest show on Gubs Radio.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
All
the
right, I'll
word
see you
with
at the
Mike
next
and Pete.
PTA meeting, Grass.
Where does
Yeah,
Frank mail
don't
the
mention
check?
Pete and the Penis, all right?
Yeah, we got it. All right, thanks.
O'Toole, I hope you come in on Thursday night. I love you.
Love you too, buddy.
Bye.
Later. It's never a show without Grass calling in, that's for sure. He's always good for one or two.
Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank.
That was Uncle Frank. I called when Uncle Frank was on. That's it. Frank's got a new name. It's
And I
Uncle
heard
Frank.
I tend to notice with Grass, there's a lot of nicknames. D-Train,
Absolutely,
Uncle
yeah.
Frank.
That's the only way he remembers anything. If you assign special titles to everything.
Flat Top Frank.
So, by the way,
Top-
we
Flat
opened
Top
a beer for tasting, and what do we get, Steve? I know you were
what
pouring
is
it
it?
out. So, what do we got?
We got lions, tigers, and bears.
Oh, I had a whole growler of this over the weekend.
Tell us a little bit about that, because last time you were in, we
Really
didn't have
goddamn
this brewed yet. So, give us a little rundown on it.
Lions, Tigers, and Bears is a New England style double IPA. Mosaic, and majority of it is Citra hops, and it's 6. What is it? 6.2.
It's fucking fantastic, is what it is.
Thank you.
Juicy.
Yes,
Very juicy.
It's the juice.
It's the juice.
It's the juice.
Drink the juice.
You got the orange juice going there. It's
that one a lot.
absolutely delicious. What's it come in as? What's the percent?
6.2.
6.2. Drinkable, right? I don't have to get fucked up on one single beer like I usually do on an empty stomach.
Anything
You drink a gallon of it.
is drinkable. I mean,
Right, absolutely. Make it crushable. As
Crushable.
we say. I really get
Did you
like
just
douche.
say crushable?
I do. I get douche chills
You know
when I
what?
say it, and
You
I
just douched
You
me
should.
over.
I know.
You
I
should.
know.
I'm
But
not
you know
gonna
what?
sleep tonight.
There's going to be people. There's people on the Hopped Up Network listening all over the country who don't get as douche chilled as I just did by saying that something.
I love that phrase, by the way, douche chill.
You know
It
what's
is.
funny,
It's
though?
great.
You know what-
That's
and
going
I
to be
do-
the
I
new
do-
one for beers. I just got douche drills from drinking.
Oh, that's brilliant.
This
douche
is
chills.
douche chills.
Douche chills.
Any
Douche
chill you
chills at
get is
8%.
Yo, I got DC on that one.
That beer DC the fuck out
I
of
got
me, man.
yo, that be a DC the shit.
We sit and come up with more names for beers here than I've ever heard. Like if we ever had the brew beer, then we definitely will want to go back to some of our past tapes and listen to some of our concepts. Steve, thank you very much. We'll be taking that into consideration.
Very tasty, my friend.
It is very good.
DC.
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 And do you call this LTB? Let me get some of that LTB. You brew an LTB?
And
Please,
you and
please
me?
tell me no. No.
Yeah, you know me.
It's funny because one of our sales reps, Erin, she'll send me, hey, I need, kegs of this, and she doesn't spell it out. She'd be like, LTB, OG. I'm like, what?
We don't
What
even
the
make that
fuck? What
fucking
do-
beer.
What the fuck? And then I have to, oh, yeah, I'm old, and I figured it out.
I was like, how old is she?
Yeah, she's like 12. No.
Right. Hashtag fabulous. It's terrible. I'm sorry. I got to stop. I fucking hate myself right now. I need to go in a self-deprivation tank.
Hashtag me
We are
too.
going to make that shit. We're going to make that shit happen.
I love it.
It's self-deprecation.
All right,
tank.
honestly, I really got to piss like a racehorse. So we're going to take a quick break.
Oh, hold on. We're not pissing in the corner like
No,
Steve
no,
is?
Steve.
Oh.
Steve,
My bad.
That's Steve's corner.
That was your mistake.
He marked his territory.
what
I
happened
knew
is
where to go.
I cut out the bottom of his seat.
I've been going.
It's like a bedpan over there.
been
He's just
going.
going right in there.
Squatty
Steve's
potty.
been watching those catheter commercials on TV.
I don't like pain.
That's why
when I
he looks so
calf.
comfortable right now, guys.
I don't like those ones that are all itchy and hurt. These are so soft and silky.
I need pre-lubricated cats.
Yes.
Is Alex Trebek the spokesperson for that one? Oh, wait.
Isn't he just that rip-off life insurance
Yeah.
bullshit?
Or is that
Colonial
Wilford
Penn.
Brimley is selling?
Diabetes.
I would buy
Diabetes.
I'll buy anything from Wilford.
Hell
Brimley.
yeah.
I don't have diabetes. I'm buying that. shit.
Diabetes.
I don't mind a walrus selling me my diabetes testing supplies.
It seems like a good deal. I don't know.
I just buy it anyway. I don't even have diabetes, but man, he
But
sells
I like it.
It's great. Fantastic. All right, we're going to take a quick break. This is The Wort with Mike and Pete. We'll be right back after this.
This is Ghost Radio, and you're getting drunk with Mike and Pete on Wort.
Whiskey, beer, and wine, but John on my mind. Gonna drink a whole bunch and hound every honey inside. Whiskey, beer, and wine, but John on my mind. I'm gonna get drunk and wet my weenie tonight. Well, I sure love looking at good-looking women who are looking right back at me. And I sure love a firm, pretty pair of breasts I can deep-fire gravity. So tonight I'm thinking I might go drinking and find a pretty gal or two to talk to. And I smile and say, honey, my weenie and
violation of copyright. Boom! Not in violation of copyright. Go suck it, YouTube.
Hooray!
Eat a bag of dicks.
Well, if we talk over this as a music bed, then we're not in copyright. How weird is that, right?
Stupid.
It's so stupid.
Stupid rule.
And then later on the replays, I'll just input this whole tag back in there, and we'll make it work. So it's all good. A little technical speaking.
That's your department.
Damn the man. Damn the man.
I don't understand any of it.
So I speaking of Dan the man, let's talk about Dan Moss for a moment.
Sure.
So Dan basically lent out his brewery so you guys can brew this beer.
Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about that process and what went into it. I know you already talked about the locally grown hops and everything else that was invested into this brew, but tell us about that meeting, that first day to the final canning.
How much of this was made, by the way? I'm sorry. I'm gonna hijack it before we even get started.
Thanks, Pete.
How much?
15 barrels.
15 barrels. Okay.
Yeah.
Which would equate to how many cases of beer?
15 barrels.
Did it all go to cans?
Our yield was about 120 cases.
Minus what we had to quality assure.
Yeah.
No, you need quality control. You absolutely do.
Yeah, and quality control is usually about 2 cases.
Per person. We're there.
And we're back!
I don't have the DJ spin. I can pull it. And we're back. Yes, absolutely. So again, Dan Moss's role in all this, because Dan was one of our first guests, and he holds a very special place in the Wort history books, I guess.
We have a history book?
Yeah.
It's a very short one.
You guys like 5 months old.
Wait, wasn't I number 2?
Very short stint. I know, because we saw pictures on his Instagram showing everyone coming together and brewing the beer. So talk to us about that process. Were you guys there?
Of course.
Of course.
Silly man.
That's silly me. What am I thinking? Yeah. So tell us about how that all went, and what, why Dan was chosen, or did he volunteer, or what happened?
Well, basically,
Poor sucker.
Basically every year we do this. We need a host brewery. It's we can't do this.
It's got to be brewed somewhere, right?
We can't do this in a homebrew system. It's not happening. So we need a host brewery. What was that?
It would take days.
Yeah, whatever. Days, weeks. But anyway, so we put it out there, and fortunately for us, we always have somebody who steps up to the plate and offers their space. So they offered the space, and we take it from there. They say we're good.
And
we'll do this.
they is Fire Island.
Fire Island Beer Company.
Dan Moss, Fire Island Brewery. We love Dan Moss.
Of course.
He has a very, very righteous beard, and it's well trimmed.
It is. He does have a fantastic beard.
Dan is good.
Absolutely.
Dan's good people.
It's shaped like the guy from what's that band called?
G.I. Joe doll.
Yeah.
Just go with G.I. Joe doll.
Okay, that works.
The beard.
It's
That's
perfectly
the Kung Fu grip, G.I. Joe?
perfectly.
Remember that?
Right.
Listen, you got to talk to Dan
Why
about
are you
that.
going to do that with your hand when you do the Kung Fu grip?
Steve, you remember the Kung Fu
Squeezing something. I don't know what's going
We're
on.
trying to be serious here.
No, you're trying to be serious.
No one's trying to be serious here.
When did that happen?
But anyway, but yeah, so fortunately, we always have someone step up to the plate. This year, it happened to be Fire Island Brewery. So basically, we work with their schedule. They give us a day. They say we can do it this time, and we put it out there to the breweries and say, "Listen, guys, we want you to come meet us on this day. These are our hosts," and we rock and roll from there. And Dan, Dan, to his credit, that guy did not walk away. He stayed there. He would have done the whole thing by himself.
He would just
Really, we had to I had to encourage him to say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, let this person
Share.
do this, sharing the job. He would have done the whole thing himself. Dan's fantastic. It's the first time I ever worked with him.
Super nice guy.
Oh, he is. He's just a generally good dude. And like I said, he would have done the whole thing by himself. But I think he really embraced
that
us,
teamwork kind of collaboration.
Yeah, and us invading his space, and because we are, it's a brewer, it's their spot, it's their house, it's their thing, and we're invading their space, and and for them to welcome us up the stairs, to dump in the ingredients, and and to do all that stuff, it really is something. A lot of people don't realize, but if you're the head brewer, this is your baby. This is your equipment, this is your thing. So, for them to kind of give up a little bit of that.
A lot of trust in you guys for him to.
Yeah, I mean, of course he's,
He was
he's
drunk.
He's of course he's hanging over our shoulder. He's keeping an eye on everything.
You guys are all coming in with cases of beer, like, Dan, drink up, quick.
Oh no, we offer a lot of beer to Dan, and that's kind of, that's kind of to release a little of that tension and let him let go. But but he did. He was great. I mean, the whole group was great. Simon,
LeBron. Oh, that's
no Duran. Duran
I know he's going.
was not in the house.
That was the '80s podcast I was on last night. Never mind.
Steve is indicating his
Shut up!
age. He's indicating his age.
Yeah, because nobody knows Simon.
Just
LeBron,
in case nobody knows, Steve's very, very old.
And your penis.
Don't make me
small.
put it.
Jesus. He's only a couple of years older than me. He just looks worse. Anyway.
Hey, Steve, go ahead.
It's called beat up.
But anyway, yeah, it was great.
There it is.
Listen, this is a legendary song. All right, so
everyone's getting down now. Let the hook kick in.
Who does not know the hook?
Everyone knows it.
God, I fucking hate this music. So very, very much.
Would you rather this?
He's actually getting violent over in the corner right now.
It's got a little different feel.
Not metal enough.
It's a real big fish. As we start our show every day with beer.
It's shitty 90s music as compared to shitty 80s music.
That's a good point. You got a good point there. Always like to see two sides of it. I'm a big cover fan, so anyone that can do a song and then make it listenable again makes something for me. I love
that was
it.
listenable? I'm sorry.
Just barely.
Is there a Seven Dust version? Or?
No.
All right.
As we know, if we don't know by now, Pete is a big metal fan.
Pete.
I like it.
I told you. Pete, I told you what was coming, right?
Pete was.
Yes, I'm excited.
Pete's here?
No,
Did I show you the
I looked at him. I get
label?
credit to where credit's
You got the label? I want to see it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What's that?
Explain to me what you're a fan of, Pete. Like Dokken, like old school metal, like what kind of metal?
No, I'm not.
Dokken was pop metal. It was never real metal.
Lamb of God,
Your
Metallica.
current metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Flames, Slayer.
Sirius Station 41.
No.
Yes, Octane.
Wait.
Bam.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're
Love
going to
that.
say Slayer, say it right.
Slayer!
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus
There you
Christ.
go.
Should have warned me on that when we peeked out a little bit.
That's fine. That's
There's
fine.
the distortion I was
Wait,
talking about at the beginning
you
of the
did
show.
say you've never peeked out before on the show.
Well, now we
Oh,
did.
there we go.
And now we did. Quite all right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you some dates of,
I want to be there. Fuck yeah.
and there's gonna be some major.
Is what's
Is
her
this
face
that-
from that band?
No.
Is this that collaboration we were talking about?
Bad. I want her there so bad.
You're gonna
Did
have
you
Silver-
creep her out, Steve?
You're gonna have Silverchair there.
I was just listening to Silverchair the other fucking day.
Silverchair, I liked.
That's
Yeah,
fucking,
because they were
that's like
17-year-old boys from
10th
Australia.
grade.
Wait, who's the band everybody hates?
Hanson?
Nickelback.
There you go, Nickelback.
I
But you
don't-
know what? You gotta listen to that one song.
Animals?
Shane Torres has a fucking great bit about Guy Fieri and why does everyone hate Guy Fieri, and slips in, Guy Fieri's the Nickelback of chefs. By the way, why does everyone fucking hate Nickelback?
I hate every other Nickelback song except for this one.
It's a great song, Animals.
It's a good song. And
I like Nickelback.
It's not
I mean,
very
You like
Nickelback.
Nickelback?
Fuck yeah, hate it if you want. That's
And
10
you know
cents
what?
off.
No.
Let's all go.
I'm grabbing my balls and getting out of here.
I've seen Limp Bizkit in concert like
You
3 or
shave
4
your balls,
times.
don't you?
Yeah.
I don't.
Hey, Mike.
The veritable forest down there, Dave.
Mike, fuck you if you don't know the words to Rockstar. I guarantee you'll sing that right now.
You have
got a
not.
photograph.
All right, there are some low points. All right.
I'll admit.
For some reason, Dave all of a sudden sounds like Mo Sliznik.
Hey, Homer. Hey, Homer, I got your beer. Hey, it's Dave from Dave's Cold Beer and Soda. Sometimes it's warm, but right now it's cold. Come touch my fro.
Don't touch the fro! Don't touch the fro!
And we're done.
Oh, shit.
That devolved very quickly.
I'm crying. Thanks, Steve. I'm crying here.
God.
That's why I sit in the corner.
I didn't even know what the fuck we were talking about.
We were talking about Dave's cold beer and soda.
It went to metal. Dave was trying to explain something that was going on, but I don't even know.
I don't know.
Craft beer week. Craft beer week.
Wait,
So I
wait
do
a
have to
sec.
get back. Good.
This was about craft beer.
It was.
Because I was told this was about
Dan,
craft
we were
beer.
talking about brewing the beer at Fire Island Beer Company.
Oh, there we
go.
Bravo!
Way to bring us back, Petey.
Yes.
The
Way to
least-
go, Pete.
Air traffic controller Pete.
The least ADD guy in the room.
Pete's bringing us back.
Good job, Pete.
So yeah, so Dan lent out a lot of trust. We went through all that. That's
Right,
great.
right.
Now moving on.
Dan, we love you, but we are moving on.
Yes, man.
So I do want to talk to Scott from Fire Island because we haven't.
Jesus.
Wait.
Because we
Steve
just
from
mentioned
Barrier,
Dan. Yeah.
Scott from Fire
Fuck
Island.
you and the limo guy that called in before.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Hold on.
Flat Frank.
Because I just broke into the door like the Fire Island again. I was gonna
Oh
say-
my God.
Like the Kool-Aid guy, like we call Graz.
Oh yeah.
So Scott from Long
Ireland.
Oh, you almost did it
See,
again.
I almost did. I stopped myself.
Fucking so close.
We really didn't talk about any of these beers except for the one I opened, which was Most Def. What else did you bring tonight for us?
Well, Tony.
Everything. Tony Romo.
No, so I have a couple beers for you. So you're
Nice.
drinking the Most Def right now.
Yes,
which
delicious.
is a IPA with Mosaic and Centennial hop. A little bit off definition of what. Yeah, so.
Oh, yeah. That was the first one. I drank that right away.
So I'll give you a cool story about Baylor. So I've known Greg and Dan since the brewery was a thought to them. It wasn't even actually there, and helped them through this whole process. And I tease them now that so Baylor is probably at this point probably 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
Steve's taking his pants off. But
He's getting into some more Baylor.
Yeah.
It was just a little.
Don't mind me. We're just going into the cooler real quick.
Baylor's
just
a
a
few
little
years
tickle and
old.
slap.
Everyone
Sorry.
everyone saw that on the
Well,
YouTube.
yeah, I know. I felt the need to explain that.
No,
too.
you should. Everyone joining us on YouTube Live has seen all of that.
But so for the the trend for IPAs back in the day 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody started doing Citra hop. Oh, it's cool fucking hop, blah, blah, blah. And Dan and Greg were ahead of that curve. And the funny thing, I tease them now because it is a great beer. I tease them now. I'm like, you guys are too fucking dumb to market it properly. That was the problem. I'm like, you had a hit on your hands. You're too fucking stupid to get this out there. But the beer's great, and the people that know it is great. You know, they dig this beer. The Most Def's another IPA that we just put out. There it is. Jackie's holding it up. Coming close to the camera right now. Look at that.
No,
That's
it's
not working.
It's dark.
It's dark.
It's a black can of death.
I got it.
And Greg,
There it is.
yeah, there you go, David.
Now it's the fiery eye.
So it's an eye of a fictitious, I believe, dragon from Irish
Thank you.
folklore. Greg will probably call in and call me an asshole. If
No,
I'm wrong
Dan
on
would
that
call
one.
you an asshole.
He does. They do it every
Yes,
day.
but Dan is far less technologically inclined.
But yeah, Dan doesn't know how to use a phone.
He
the
can
Most
fax,
Def-
but phoning is out of the question.
Yeah.
But there's also
Karaoke, he's a god.
he's a
but,
fucking- oh my god, yeah.
Actually, I think in
Total rock star.
the app we listed his role in the event as the voice of an angel.
That's right.
Between Fergie and an angel. That's
Yeah,
what they call it.
there you go.
But no. So I have Celtic, which is I hesitate to say this flagship because I hate the fucking word. Just drink the beer and enjoy the beer. Dude, I don't care which one you like. Drink it. There's various styles.
It is
delicious. I
It's
love
good.
it. It's a great beer. It's
Great
it's-
standby.
Oh no, it's awesome.
I'm
But
torn.
that's exactly my point. It's like drink it all. Drink the whole fucking thing. Drink
I don't-
the whole portfolio.
I don't know which one I want more.
Most Def or Baylor?
Oh, man.
Yeah, Most Def is delicious.
Are there any left?
I don't know if Steve's been at the cooler.
Yeah.
Steve's been at the cooler, so.
This is what happens when we put baby in the corner.
Yes.
But yeah, so that and
Baby
I brought you
drinks all
some-
the beer.
Some summer ale, which is just listen, everybody's got to have a summer ale.
You got it,
because
yeah.
Summer on Long Island is summer on Long Island. I don't have any with us, but we do a raspberry wheat that goes in the summer. It's a year-round offering for us, but we. you know, it's just a great alternative. And then
Holy crap,
I have
that
some
smells good.
Yeah, right?
No-fo saison in there.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
it's
saisons.
great.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
grab a
should
couple of
grab those.
Yeah,
well,
there's-
we're walking away with a couple of
there's
those.
a few- absolutely.
And that's
Farmhouse.
yours.
Well, I don't know. You're gonna have to
No,
drag
bro.
wrestle
Yeah,
Steve
well,
for him first.
Steve and I are gonna have an arm wrestling fight, which he'll win.
It's only 10:05. What the fuck?
I only beg for one beer in the end.
But
Joe Rogan's gonna choke us out over this.
I'll be sitting here by myself, not knowing how to work the fucking buttons with dead silence.
When are you guys coming out with like scented candles of this shit?
You know what? It's a
So
great
you can
idea.
have
We
it
can
in
work
the
on that. Greg, please
No.
take note if you're listening.
He
still.
wants to have that in the basement all by himself.
All by myself.
Cooking chicken fajitas.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Did you cover Celtic?
No, that's what I said. So Celtic
Yeah,
is
we're-
our. That's what I said. I hate the
that's
fucking
fucking good.
term flagship. But that is our flagship. That is the beer that introduced Dan and Greg
First,
to everybody.
first beer I drank from you guys. Yeah.
And I'll tell you the cool thing, and I guarantee everybody in this room will agree with this. Cool thing about Greg and Dan, and I love them, they're dear friends, is
They'll rape you.
they
So cool.
but they don't have to root for you, they'll talk you in.
Dave won't hit you with a roofie blow dart from 50 feet away.
No, you know how sometimes you get the, like Dave said before, Dave,
Less Bill
Dave will tell
Cosby,
you,
more.
There you go. A little from a distance.
Jello pudding pop.
There you go. You're done.
I almost spit that out.
Like,
Holy shit.
Less Bill Cosby, more Harvey Weinstein. Got it.
Hashtag me too.
All right, now I'll get you a show, but you're gonna have to.
No, like Dave said before, and Dave and I are very similar, which is why we get along. I'll tell you you're a fucking asshole, and you'll walk away with a smile on your face, going, "I think that guy doesn't like me." But all that being said, before I came to work for Greg and Dan, I talked to a bunch of people, and I love those guys, and I have since the day I met them. Everybody says about Greg and Dan, they're good fucking dudes. Like people will say about other people in the industry, he makes great beer, but he's a fucking jerk off.
Like
Dave,
Steve.
you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not naming names.
I know nothing.
Dave doesn't make beer. He does not.
Just
I make
enemies.
beer poorly.
But they're good dudes. They're making fucking crazy good beer, which is why I jumped on board with them. And you guys will see coming this summer. New tasting room, new
Nice.
deck on the tasting room. A bunch of new
beer
innovative
garden?
beers, which I'm not gonna fucking speak about yet because I got some really cool ideas coming out.
Nice.
Nice.
So when did you join Long Island?
Officially,
13 days ago.
May 1st.
It seems like a short period of time that I did a lot, but
officially,
7 days ago.
yeah, no
7
shit. Officially, May 1st.
oh wow.
Oh, but
I really want.
No, but hold on.
close, bro.
No, hold on. I can give you the history of Long
Okay.
Island as good as Dan and
Yes.
So
Yeah.
when they bought their system, they bought it from a brewery in New Hampshire that used to be Rob from New England's, where they kind of learned how to brew. I drove up there with them to break the brewery down, to pack it on trucks, to bring it fucking back down here and fucking rebuild it and put it back together. And so I used to own a Home D, which is beverage center in this.
Oh, I thought you meant
in
Home
this world.
Depot. You
No,
say
it's-
Home
I'm
D
the
like
owner of
This is
Home
a Home
Depot.
D.
From
yeah.
D.
Home D, like
no, I own
Dave's
the same
cold
store,
beer
yeah.
and soda.
Yes, exactly. I owned a Home D like Dave's Cold Beer and Soda. In
Go to
Bellport, New
Bellport.
York.
Oh, Dave's home.
If you want delicious beer, go to Bellport.
Dave's
Bellport, cold beer and soda.
Have I mentioned to you guys that I own a place called Bellport Cold Beer and Soda?
But all that
It's
Right
like the
now,
Wild West.
Right now, the coolers are down, so it's Dave's warm beer and soda. But by tomorrow, it'll be really cold, and it'll be frosty beer and cold soda.
You can mosey on
We
down.
got Blind Melon in the corner there.
Mosey on down to Dave's
Blind
cold
dog.
beer and soda.
Blind dog for
Yeah.
in the corner.
Oh,
Have
there
yourself.
you go. Look out
There
for
it
the
is.
gunshots.
Go ahead and mosey on in.
You know, there has not been one complete idea this evening. It's fantastic.
No, it's fucking. It's
I love
awesome.
it.
It's
Yeah,
fucking
it's
awesome.
awesome.
Steve the prospector over here.
Yes.
But yeah,
From Dave's cold beer and soda.
all that being
You
said,
know, over on. Whoa! Over. Say what? Over
what?
on that ridge there used to be Dave's cold beer and soda.
bet you I can throw a football over Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
Way back in the 1870s. Long Island was acquired by the Indians.
Thank you for
And there
not
was
calling
one
it Fire
outpost.
It was out in a place called Patchogue. Dave's cold beer and soda.
Yeah.
We just need the
If you
cat
look
of the cowboy.
closely, you can still see the old beer bottle sitting there on the fence.
The Indians still refer to it as Wunkum, which is called Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
The Apache word douchebag stands for Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
I'm gonna have a heart attack tonight.
If you want that Celtic ale, you gotta pay 17 wampum.
At Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
Apache word for douchebag.
Oh, yeah.
That's the line of the night right there.
That was great.
It definitely is.
That's fucking terrific.
By the way, Dave, you're buying a lot of my fucking beer next week for all these references.
U.S. Limousine.
Oh my God. Wait, let me pay him back by saying the following.
Yeah.
And this is no bullshit.
Oh, shit.
And Scotty knows me a long time, and he knows I don't blow smoke up. But Long Island's Celtic Ale, to me, is like, I know it's their flagship, but it is. I said to the guys years ago, I go, this is the most brilliant beer on Long Island because it really goes with anything. It's got
At Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
You can buy it at Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
No. Let me finish. It goes with anything else that you can buy at Dave's Bell Cold Beer and Soda.
Oh, fuck.
All right, I'm shutting up now.
Christ.
I don't have enough sound effects on the board to keep going. I'm spent. That was it. I'll do this one. No, it's too much. Too much loudness.
Oh, Jesus.
But anyway, yeah, we're in Riverhead. We sell beer. Come out and fucking drink at the brewery.
And I heard Riverhead was sold for 13 wampum.
You know who they bought it from, right?
Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
You guys are killing me tonight. I love it.
That's 20 minutes on just Dave's Cold Beer.
It's the greatest advertisement
Ever.
I'm not doing jack shit at work tomorrow. By myself in the basement.
No, at this point, we can all go get free beers at Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
There used to be an outlaw in the town. I've watched too many westerns in my days.
His hair was so curly, couldn't cover it in a hat.
Oh, fuck.
Won't you guys all be sad when I lose all my hair?
And I just peed in the corner again.
Oh, God. Somebody get Steve a Depends.
I already gave him a cutout in the chair. He can just go right on the floor.
Jesus Christ. This went south.
His hair was dark, black, and curly. His name was Dave.
Long Island Craft Beer Week 2018.
It's the wildest show in the West.
Pew, pew.
Dave's Beer Go Soda.
Now you're starting to sound like the old guys from the Muppets.
I'm actually glad to see that just not the beer industry people have severe ADD.
It's well beyond that.
So anyway, Long Island has been around for a little while, and I actually have to say, both Dan and Greg, when we were trying to open up Barrage, were a integral part of helping us out trying to get paperwork.
Did you say
done.
integral?
I was going to say that, but I stopped.
Thank you. It relieved
Speaking
a lot
no
of the
complete
fuck-ups
thoughts.
that I made, and
Not
I feel
a
like
word.
a weight has been lifted
Zero
off my shoulders.
complete thoughts on this fucking show.
I was going to say
Integral.
pharmaceutical.
Now we're talking.
Because I like to say the big words, too.
Steve's taking an Uber home tonight.
Delicatessen.
If anyone wants to buy an FJ Cruiser from the police in town.
What's wrong, dude? You yell.
I've had enough. So the integral part.
Wait,
They were in a cog-like moment.
Integral. Right?
Integral.
Those motherfuckers don't help me out.
You can help me out big time and make my beers all good. Wordy, wordy. Dirty, dirty.
Dirty, dirty.
Anyway,
So-
yeah.
Anyway.
Here's awesome. We're in Riverhead. Come drink.
Tell us a little about Riverhead.
You want to tell us a little about Long Island?
It's a Riverhead full of Polacks. And,
We are.
Is it really?
yeah,
How far are you away
Is
from
it?
Funcho's
Oh,
Tacos?
There's a
Polish
Polish.
House.
And
Which
you
one?
Polish Fest.
Funchos?
We're close to
Ponchos?
I fucking love Funchos.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Pancho Villas?
No, Funchos?
Oh,
you ready for this?
Funchos. Yes, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Hold on to your fucking seat. So there's a place in West
Hold on,
Hampton.
Petey.
There's a place in West Hampton called Boom Burger.
Oh.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
And there's a phone call.
Phone call.
Hold on, we got Boomburger, but we'll get right back to that. This is the Wort with Mike and Pete. Who do we got on the phone tonight?
Your wife?
Oh. Yes, dear. How can I help you?
I don't even know what's going on right now.
Neither do we.
Are you calling with Dave on the train? Are you on the train right now?
I'm actually on the Long Island Railroad Babylon branch.
Okay.
So sorry.
Hi, Christina.
Are you going to the
I'm
Bellport
Hi,
stop?
Pete.
Sorry.
Yes.
Calling in cahoots with Terry,
Yeah.
my cohort.
Ah, Pete's
You
wife.
know,
Is she still listening?
on the, she is listening, and
Am
she
I in
knows I'm
trouble?
calling. You're not in trouble. She's texting me right now like, I can't even believe you just fucking called this phone. Hi, T-Bird. You guys are off on a little bit of a tangent tonight, I have to say.
Yeah, well, we kind of left the beer
There's
realm.
not been one complete thought.
Nope.
For 2
yeah,
hours and
yeah,
16
I-
minutes.
You think?
But if you have one thing to take from this, it's Dave's cold beer and soda.
I'm gonna preface my presence on this phone call right now by saying that I am half in the bag.
Does that train stop here? Because you should come here right now.
No, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong line.
Or we could
However,
take
I
one
am-
straight to Dave's cold beer and soda.
I have been on Amtrak for the last 4.5 hours, and now I'm on the Long Island Railroad.
Well, the last 2 hours and 16 minutes have been because of us.
I will agree. Oh my God, Terry's still texting me.
She's
That's Pete's
she's-
wife, by the way.
She's a long format kind of girl.
And that's why she likes you, Pete.
Fair enough.
Wait. This just in from the Wives Club over here. Tell them I'm downing an amber. Oh my God, I'm laughing so hard.
Wait, she went down on Amber, and she's. Well, I don't know what's going on here.
Wait, what am I walking into?
Pete, I take no, I can't take any credit for what she's doing in your home right now.
All right.
Whoa.
How much beer did you leave
Hey
home?
now, a lot. There's a
Suddenly,
lot
I
of
want to
beer.
go to Pete's basement.
Probably a really great time.
Shows to be continued.
Pete's basement or Dave's cold beer and soda.
All right, well, I'll let you guys get back to your nonsense.
Yep.
But,
Nonsense.
Thank you.
No, listen, this is what everything I do is nonsense.
Nothing
just
but
by the way.
nonsense.
Dude, this is
Terry
nonsense.
Just,
I hate to
Terry
tell you.
Terry just wanted me to state for the record that she's Catholic.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
What does that mean exactly?
That means
I have no idea.
You know what,
Stop
Peter?
it.
I'm so Catholic, though, Peter.
Can you remind her that neither of us have been to church since we got married? Can someone else?
Listen, Pete,
Remind
I
her.
don't need to remind her. She's listening.
Oh, you do have a summer. I thought you didn't have a summer. All right, Chris. Listen, I love you, and I'll talk to you a little later.
Summer's in there.
We were distracted by beer. See you later, Christina.
Cheers.
Good night, Chris.
No, all right.
Drop us.
That ended abruptly.
Listen, that's how every conversation ends. To be honest with you.
And
She's
I'm
like,
out.
and you're pretty much a dick, so I'll talk to you later. All right. I'm like, oh, okay, bye. I love you.
Am I in trouble when I get home?
No, not at all. I'll probably be home before she is, especially if she's on the LIR right now. She's coming home from Boston. She was on a couple-day trip for sales up in Boston. And I tried to get her to try some of the beautiful beers up in Boston. Trillium, Treehouse, try to find something up there, and
Trillium.
you know, you can't. It's like trying to. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it. All right, whatever.
No, right.
You get the concept. But if you go out to Dave's Cold Beer and Soda,
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't fuck him.
Unless you're really tall.
They're tall and slender. And they got the curly hair like the Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
oh, I didn't push. There it is.
Oh, fuck.
Great got your money.
Sweet sassy molasses.
Oh, tootsie bootsy.
Well, I don't think she even has a clue what's going on. Even she's been
I don't
listening
think
for a
we
straight
do.
2.5
But
hours.
we don't either, so.
No. We're okay with the gunshots
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Dave's Cold Beer Soda.
Soda. Ooh. You get all your goodies and drinks over at Dave's Beer, cold sodas and stuff.
Cold sodas and such. Wow, that's really rattling off. That's way beyond the decades. All right. So anyway.
So craft beer week.
I'm gonna give I'm gonna give this place a shameless fucking plug.
Okay, go.
You
Yeah.
guys come out to Brewery and fucking I'll take you to lunch.
Whoa! I will
a
be there
place-
tomorrow.
There's a place around and Funchos is fucking all.
I love Funchos.
I'm not shitting on Funchos in any way, shape, or form. But
Yeah.
around the corner from Funchos, a new place called Taco About It.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
It's a good
well,
name.
great
I like
name.
it.
Just give them something to
Talk
talk
about
about.
Their
Love
fucking
it.
tacos are like he makes everything
Obscene?
fresh. You go in,
Obscene.
and you're gonna sit there for 20 minutes before you get your fucking tacos because he's making them as you. And
Have you been to El Paso?
Yeah.
Absurd.
Is it
Like the place in Mexico?
No, there's El Paso, Mexico, Mexican food on Conklin.
Conklin. Yes.
Yes, fucking best tacos.
Holy fuck. And it's
That
the little shittiest, like,
yeah, the place that's right across from the school there or whatever. That
before
field.
it. Before it.
Before.
No,
okay.
yeah.
No, I haven't been there.
It's actually.
They're a little too close to a strip club.
Yeah! You know, I didn't want to say it, but.
Listen, most people can just reference a strip club and everyone knows what the hell's
Crystal
going on.
Cafe.
Crystal
They're
Cafe.
a little
It
too
is.
close to Crystal Cafe.
All right, are they free
still
plug.
open? Are they still open?
Free plug.
Crystal Cafe is
Oh
still
yeah.
open.
No, I mean the taco
The
place.
taco place actually is still probably open. It's English second language.
So
there
ESL.
for
I'm
sure.
okay with that.
Where's the rest of the beer?
Best
Taco
fucking
is
tacos
universal.
there, though.
Taco is a universal.
Great
word.
fucking tacos.
Yes.
there. The Al Pastor tacos.
Dos tacos, por favor.
But
That's
I'm
all you gotta
telling
say.
That's it. And I'm totally
Carne
with you.
y
Funchos is the
pollo
shit, but this
y
place is
pescado.
off the hook.
We'll do a show.
Was
from
that a
the-
real
We'll do a
fart?
show from the brewery.
You guys had to brew a beer.
The summer.
What's
what
that?
Do you want?
I said before I leave here, you'll be out there brewing a beer with us. Don't worry about it.
And I had the Clancy.
You're so
And we sell it
childish.
too.
I had the Clancy.
Wait, that's your beer. You can't have the Clancy. That's yours.
Clancy and the Hoochie Mama.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Have you had the hoochie?
I haven't had that one yet. No.
Ooh.
Let's give
All right.
him some.
No. We gotta get the Will Ferrell version.
I went
of
in
that
for a
'cause it's the
sampler on
best.
Friday.
Thanks,
What do I
Steve.
have?
I appreciate that.
I had the red ale, Lions, Tigers, and Bears.
Oh my.
You so hazy, and I don't remember the other one.
And actually, you so hazy dropped off now. It'd be gone for.
I still have the Crowler. I haven't opened that yet.
Nice.
For a
forward to it.
retro feel. Yeah, absolutely.
And-
So you're drinking the summer. I saw you crack that open. Tell us a little about the summer ale. I know that's been around for a while.
It's fucking awesome. No, so it's very basic. It's a golden ale. It's brewed with lemon
Say it.
peel.
It's crushable.
It's
Don't
we'll not
say
do
it's
that.
crushable.
And
I
what
didn't
I'm
do
not
it.
going to say, and I wanted to say this before when you said, "Oh, this is really drinkable." You could look at that both ways. I could make a face like it sucks and look at Pete and go, "Well, it's drinkable if you want it."
There's nothing there.
Or I can
You
look at
showed
Dave
me
and
a
go,
blank
"Dude,
screen.
taste
my
is
wife.
so drinkable."
She
So you got to
said,
be careful with that word as well.
Um,
But no,
so
summer
that
ale is it's to
Dave's
me it's
cold and the beer
Greg and
is-
Dan won't be upset when I say this is a benign fucking style for everybody. But you have to have a summer ale because we have fucking awesome summers here in Long Island, and we're gonna party down with summer ales. And if you want to play cornhole and not that kind of cornhole, Steve, if you want to play cornhole,
Why is it always Steve?
you want to play
You have to
cornhole
ask.
and drink 67 fucking beers. That's the beer you want to do it with.
Cornhole's awesome.
Cornhole is fun, especially with a couple beers in your hand.
Oh God, yeah. And we're having a fucking tournament at the brewery May 19th.
There we go.
Another craft beer.
Another craft beer week event.
Is
That's
that,
right.
Is that listed as an event?
I didn't say. I didn't
Is it
even
in
know
the
that.
app?
Greg didn't know either, so
Not
I'm
yet.
not in trouble.
I got some
Tomorrow
work
it
to
will
do
be.
tomorrow.
Send it to us. We'll put it on.
Oh no, I have it.
Oh, you have it?
It's
Okay.
just on the
Gotcha.
computer.
Yeah, that was a computer.
She's very busy. She's in charge of the entire internet.
Yeah, all
all the webs,
all the nets,
all
and
the
the
tubes,
Nets and webs
all the
and-
tubes.
I'm glad you understand.
The
Pete.
wiki
Wet
stuff,
snaps and
the
tubes.
Julian Assange stuff. She's got it all fucking wrapped up in one little
It's
thing.
all in a spreadsheet.
Listen, we're here at GubsRadio.com, YouTube streaming live. I know I got to push this stuff in here. We're sponsored by Fine Fare of Copiague. I don't know if we even mentioned that maybe earlier in the show. I don't remember very much.
You did not.
Okay, so we're sponsored by Fine Fare of
Fine Fare
Copiague.
of Copiague.
Thank you,
We're going to
Fine
have
Fare.
a little brief a commercial in our next quick break. Wrap it up. We are streaming live on our YouTube page. Like I said, we're joined by Scott from Long Island Brewing.
Yes,
We're
you did
joined
it.
by Steve from Barrage. We have the co-presidents, Jacki and Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
And don't forget Pete and Nick that
Come
are
and get it.
talking about.
Yeah, Pete and the Penis Show here. That's for Graz. Graz calls us the Pete and the Penis Show. And apparently we had a tremendous amount of higher-ups listening tonight.
Nice.
I don't know what that
and
means.
Now we're
Good
Don't
day, sirs.
want to. And you're canceled.
I hope they tuned out at 9 o'clock. We're going to go to a quick break. Again, I got to piss again, so we're going to do that, and we'll be back right after this.
Just a little to plow. We stand just a little too close. We stare just a little too long. Maybe they're seeing something we don't, darling. Let's give them something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? Love, 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 scuba dive, candy, dig it. I don't know.
Hey, beer lovers. There's only one place on Long Island where you can find the best selection of craft beer from all across the tri-state area, and it's Fine Fare of Copiague. Fine Fare, located on Montauk Highway at the end of Great Neck Road in the Mama's Shopping Center, has the greatest selection of hard-to-find New York City craft beers from breweries like Single Cut, Five Boroughs, Finback, KCBC, Innenborough, and McKellar, with a ridiculous selection of popular Long Island breweries like Destination Unknown, Garvey's Point, Greenport, Mustache, Captain Lawrence, and Barrier Brewing Company. Fine Fare of Copiague has just the right brew you're looking for. For the latest information about their lineup, visit their Instagram at Copiague's Fine Fare, or check them out on beermenus.com and the Untapped app for the entire beer menu. Fine Fare of Copiague, the right store for the craft beer you're looking for.
It's the simple things in life, but life ain't so simple, right? And times get hard and people
all over my shorts. I just want to throw that out there.
Beer shorts over here.
Beer shorts.
If I get pulled over, I am in trouble.
Sorry, officer, I got beer shorts.
Made with the freshest beer found at Dave's Cold Beer Soda.
Yeah. If you get pulled over, tell them where you got it.
I stouted all over my pants.
I stouted. Oops, I stouted my pants. There you go, Sand City. Use it. Go for it.
Hoochied my pants.
Mike just copyrighted that. By the
Yes,
way.
I did.
Don't you dare use that.
Copyright is the minute you think of it, it's copyrighted, by the way. So we are approaching one of the biggest beer weeks here on Long Island, Craft Beer Week. And from May 11th to May 20th, we're going to be celebrating some of the best breweries here on Long Island, and we're going to kick off a lot of the
Along with
events.
Dave's Cold Beer and Soda. Sorry, yeah. That's it. I'm done.
But seriously, please
Can
go
we
out.
please be done?
Starting to feel a little uncomfortable now.
We do actually approve of Dave's Cold Beer and Soda, by the way. So if you guys live out by
Still gotta make the
Belport,
gunshots though.
every time we have to mention it's got to go up. That's part of the bit. If you do live out in the Belport area, in the eastern Suffolk area, please visit Dave's Cold Beer and Soda. And
By the way, I promise there won't be gunshots. Well, no, I can't really promise that.
Wait. Hey, the gunshots are minimum of 900 yards away from my store.
Yeah, that's the north side. You're fine.
well, if Dave
Fine.
greets you
If
at
you're,
the door,
if you're closer to Nassau or Western Suffolk, Copac Fine Fair.
Copac Fine Fair.
Otherwise, Dave's Gold Beer.
Gold Beer. Oh, I didn't.
Listen,
have it
when
on.
I'm out in the area
Yes.
and I don't know, thirsty,
Yeah.
I go to Copac Fine
Copac
Fair.
Fine Fair, yeah, absolutely.
Damn straight.
There you go, Frank. Anytime you want, just like Frank.
Flat Frank?
No, that your Frank. That my Frank. Yeah,
Not
Copac.
flat top Frank.
Wait,
not flat
Frank at Copac Fine Fair?
Copac Fine
Copac
Fair.
Fine
Okay.
Fair.
Just
Fine
checking.
Fair.
All right, great. Thank you. I was waiting for it. I'm on the trigger. Because anytime we mention cold beer and soda, that's got to happen.
Frank,
Sure.
Frank,
So
Frank,
yeah, if you guys are out in the eastern Suffolk area, if you're listening or tuning into the podcast, please visit Dave's Cold Beer and Soda and get your favorite Long Island brews from there. Dave, what is the most recent beer that you've received in the last week?
Well.
Also,
Most
if you have an Instagram, please plug that because we'll start to go around the
gave
room
him a
and
new
start giving
tab
plugs.
on.
We have an Instagram, but it's run by my employee Kevin, and I have no clue what it is.
But it's a.
He's just picturing.
Kevin does an awesome job, so I ignore.
He's posting ass pics of just
Dick pics.
yeah, dick pics of everything that's going on.
No, we just
Yes.
D on.
we
There
we
you
actually
go. Good callback.
we actually just as far as like real recent stuff, we just got in a stack of cases of a collaboration beer.
Local.
Boom. Yep. And it was done at Barrier, and I don't know how many cases we got.
Barrier.
Not
Barrage.
Barrage. Barrier.
Oceanside, not Farmingdale.
Correct.
Same thing.
Young guy, not old guy.
Cold beer.
I know he meant it.
So close.
But anyway, it's I grabbed the can the other day. It's very good. New England style IPA. Very good stuff. Were you involved in that, Steve?
Actually, we were asked to do it. We weren't able to do it.
I really
at
don't
that time.
care. I just was throwing that out.
Yeah, Steve, just say, yeah, we were, then move on.
No, go ahead,
no,
Steve.
no.
I'm sorry.
You know, it's kind of weird that Barry would be doing an IPA. That's strange.
Yeah, they've done one or two.
Yeah, just a couple.
amongst the other beers that they've
It's
All right,
like
back to Steve. Steve, are you involved with that, sir?
I think we gave baby too many beers in the corner.
Sometimes I like to go to the pharmacy next to the delicatessen.
So anyway, yeah. So what's the most recent one you got in?
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, by the way,
Yes.
Dave's Instagram is Belport Beer.
It's very
Oh,
complicated.
okay.
Holy
It's
shit.
very-
You have to
dude,
look it up for him.
It's
Can't
very,
look at-
it's very complicated. I
looked it
couldn't
up for
remember
him.
that.
I think we're following it. I
Look at
think we're
Steve's
on there.
face. We're not letting him speak. He looks sad,
Well, it's too much
Or
beating a bit to
bothered.
death, but that's fine.
or he has to pee.
Just went.
In place.
In place.
He piddled already.
Do we have a name for the
And I'm done.
Bellport? I'm sorry, not the Bellport, but the Ocean City
Ocean
barrier.
City. See, that place is awesome. on
That's
the
Maryland, sir.
Yeah.
Ocean City is in Maryland,
I'm
sir.
doing like 4 things at once. Cut me a time. So anyway, we got the recent additions to the lineup: Decadent Evil Twin, Westboro, and what's this one right here?
Westbrook, not
Like,
Westboro.
Is it
I was going to say, like,
Westbrook?
Westboro
Okay.
Baptist Church, because that
Yes.
may be a problem.
They're all dead.
All right. I only
You know,
saw.
Mike,
Gunshots.
you're one slip
Gunshots.
away from me calling this the Anal Wort podcast.
I don't know if
never
the
said
real
that.
name is Anal Wort.
So Long Island won't be here anymore.
It's been fun knowing you. Peace out.
But the Barrage.
No. Excuse me, Steve. That was Fire Island.
Fire Island, that's correct.
Fire Island. That's
I'm sorry. I forgot who you worked for. I forgot who
Fire
you worked for.
Ireland.
You worked for Fire Ireland.
I gotta stop doing too many things. I'm here. I'm there. I'm there. Fucking too many things.
So, Scott, working at Fire Ireland.
How's it go when
How
the
they
entire
Very
country's on
hot
fire?
beer from Europe.
Nice.
That's
I
what
like
we do.
that.
That's
So you had the local to local. That was the one you were talking about.
Yeah,
the comp
yeah.
collaboration. It's Barrier, Destination, Great South Bay, Greenport, Oyster Bay, Sand City, Spider Bay.
Oh,
That's a
shit.
big one.
That's
Right, and it's-
a lot of fucking breweries.
Yeah.
Well, you know
No, it's
what
not
it is.
shit. It was actually delicious.
Oh, all right.
It's a beer. It's a collaboration beer by Long Island Breweries, only for our sector.
Oh, yeah, I
of
saw that
stores.
post.
Yeah,
I did see that
so
post.
it's meant for us. It's not going to grocery stores.
You
It's
can
not
only get it
going-
at distributors.
Yeah, you can only get it
Right.
at distributors.
Local.
Local.
And there's
Local
Hence the name.
independent.
and I think there's about 50 guys who are participating in the program right now. So
Wow.
It's all over Long Island. You can look it up and check out the locations.
And that was an IPA, Dave?
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys are supporting Long Island and Port Jeff, Great South Bay, Spider Bite, Lithology, Fire Island, Montauk, 1940s, Dubco, Mustache, Greenport. All these beers can be found at Dave's Cold Beer. So if you need your local beer, head on, mosey on down, grab yourself.
I like to change from head on to mosey.
Mosey on down.
Because the mosey is
Hitch
a
up
way
your
better.
horse.
Mosey's a way better form of transportation.
That's right.
If you ain't
know
wearing
Is
chaps
this-
or a
is that one of
cowboy
your
hat,
employees
there's a 20% discount.
sticking in photobombing?
Yeah,
If
that
you're
would be
wearing
that'd be
S-less
Thomas.
chaps,
He's the kid.
It's
Yeah.
a 50% discount.
He looks so happy to
Because
be
Dave
there.
likes
He sure
S-less
does.
chaps.
Well, he takes a lot of abuse, so it's
Wait,
rough.
hold on. Kevin is never happy. Let's
Listen, first of
If
all,
you see Kevin
He
smiling,
was happy for
he's
13
scared.
seconds,
No.
okay?
I love Kevin. He's never happy.
Kevin smiles and he is happy. He just has a face. All right? And that's his face, and you can't do anything about it.
Oh, does he have a
Okay.
case of resting bitch face?
That's
Well, you know what? You know
so
what?
much worse.
Listen,
It's
I've had
resting
2
Kevin
employees
face.
over the past couple of years. I had 2 employees with some serious.
Would you
RBF.
let this person on a plane?
That's a terrorist.
I would let you on a plane.
That's
Yeah.
a terrorist.
Sure.
Let me tell you something.
Let me see what-
if
I haven't
that
seen
head
it.
popped
In
out of the
handcuffs.
tank, I would take a shot at it.
I would let you. I would just let you on the plane in handcuffs.
Your shoes would be fucking confiscated immediately.
They'd be strip
So,
searching
for
you every
some
single
reason,
time.
I get secondary screening at the airport.
It's weird. I don't know why. I don't understand.
Don't tell me you don't appreciate it when they kind of stick their finger in.
Maybe
In other
just a little.
regions.
Whoa, how do I get that cord?
But you see,
I
this
want
room,
that.
what's happening tonight in this room is basically what it is like working for me. It really is. It's,
A
you
digital
know,
exam?
you know,
Wait,
you either work with us and you become thick-skinned, or you get the hell out. You know,
Yeah.
it's what it is.
In all fairness to Dave, I have popped in there and said, I got 5 minutes, I got to drop something off Dave's, and I got to be somewhere else. And an hour later, I'm like, dude, I really got to fucking go.
But it's fun,
Gotta
right?
go.
But
Oh, no,
we have
I
fun.
enjoy it every time. I love it every time.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And where's
poor
that?
behavior going on.
A Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
And Jackie from the co-president with Dave here from Dave's Cold Beer and Soda, supporting Long Island Craft Beer Week, May 11th through the 20th. Lots of events. Go to the app. It's Attendee
Hub.
App Hub.
Attendee Hub
Attendee
in
Hub.
Google Play and iOS App Store.
Yes.
Download the
those
app.
technical
Find
Those
out,
things.
Download it.
Yes.
find out all the events that are going on.
If you
throughout
have
Long
Windows
Island.
Phone, go fuck yourself.
Or like a Google phone. What is that?
Yeah, why
Like
are
Windows
they-
phone.
why?
If you
What
have
Windows
a
phone?
Motorola
What is a
StarTAC,
Windows phone?
eat my
Exactly.
ass. It was cool 30
Motorola
years ago.
StarTAC.
Download the
That's-
app.
wow.
Jackie is directly editing code for the apps.
For
which
the
is
web,
awesome.
all
For
the
the
web.
web.
plus, all the things.
And
all
all
the
the tubes.
Yes,
all
and
the tubes.
She created the app.
She's stuffing all
Her
the
and Al
tubes.
Gore.
Yes, if you actually want.
I invented all apps.
As
Nice.
You,
All the apps.
As you guys attend events, if you want to send tasteful nudes to Jackie, that's tasteful.
Tasteful, yes.
That's totally fine.
I appreciate art.
So that's like
She likes feathers, properly located.
nothing too veiny.
No peacocks. Fuck you and your peacocks.
Nothing too veiny.
Nothing
like
that
into yourself.
that would appear like sticky semen. That's
Oh.
we don't want any part
We'll
of
go
that.
back there.
The worst throwback.
Nothing real purple looking.
You had to go back to segment number 1.
Come and get an IPA.
Yeah.
Come and get it. It's coming.
With it.
Come
I,
and get
I,
it.
want, I
IPA.
want to come hither.
Ooh, come hither.
No big purple.
So check out the app on the App Store. Also check out the website cbw.us.
LICBW.us for all the events for Long Island Craft Beer Week, May 11th
Right.
to 20th.
Check it all out. First one starts in Farmingdale, the Meatball Place, and out in Port Jeff at the
Nope.
Poorhouse.
Poorhouse.
The Poorhouse in Port Jeff. That Meatball Place in Farmingdale.
what I said.
Come see us at
Goddamn
on
Pete is
Saturday,
awesome.
5 to 7 at Croxley's in Farmingdale.
Yeah, the word will be there. I'm going to
Come harass us.
Yes.
Yes.
We really thank Scott from Long Ireland, not
Yeah,
Fire
boy.
Island.
Fire
Or
Ireland.
any
Fire
of the other
Island.
If
islands.
you guys come by
All the islands.
and fucking
All the islands.
high-five me at the Cast Fest at Meatball Place, I will give you free beer.
Nice.
Fair
there
enough.
you go. Anyone that needs a high
If your
five.
$30 purchase.
Apparently, Scott needs high fives.
No,
For
he's
your $30
really,
policy,
he's
you-
just really good at them.
Yes, he's just excellent at them. And Steve, you've been in the corner all night. How you feeling?
And Steve.
Wet.
Just like that. And Steve.
A lot of wet. A lot of wetness going on.
That's Steve from Barrage, not
And
Barrier.
That's
Steve
right.
from
And what's funny is I haven't screwed that up once tonight, so we're good.
Which is awesome. Wait, that never happens.
Keep that relationship going. Yeah. Dave's cold beer and
Go,
soda.
did you go? They do got nerve.
For Pete,
Thank you for everyone for coming down tonight.
Thanks
This
for
was
having us,
yeah,
man.
this was
fucking great
awesome.
time.
Ridiculous
This was fun, guys.
time.
This
I had a
was fun.
great time.
Did you? I couldn't tell.
I know, seriously.
This is awesome. I'm gonna drop my phone, and we're gonna see
man,
everybody
Stop
out at
throwing
Croxley's in Farmingdale on Saturday. That's May 12th.
Wait,
May
there's something
12th.
going on
Holy
Saturday?
shit, I got it right. From 5 to 7, we'll be broadcasting from Croxley's in Farmingdale. Come on down, say hello. Come see us.
Sponsored by Copeg Fine Fair.
And if you give us a high five, we'll touch your dick.
Word to
Whoa. I did not sign up for that.
I will
Social
be
media
the
was
first
one
guy
text.
in line. Good luck, everyone.
He's got one dude one time.
It'll be quick. It'll be careless. It'll be emotionless.
And unexpected.
But it will be sexy.
It'll really just be a poke. It's just a poke.
I'll poke your dick.
That boop. And that's what you get. Have a good day, sir. Yes, come on down and join us for our next episode sometime in late May. We'll have all that live information cut up for you and brought to you by our sponsors at Copeg Fine Fair. Copeg
Yes.
Fine Fair, some of the best. And yes, all right, fine. Dave's Cold Beer and Soda.
All right, I'll buy you guys some beers. all right?
Yeah.
You've earned the beers.
Yeah, nice. We thank all our guests. We thank Grass for calling in, and Greg and Frank. How can we forget about Frank?
Frank and Flat Frank.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for calling in, guys. This is The Wort with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. We'll see you all next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
It's 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back.
Are you kidding me? Please hang up and try again.
This has been The Wort on Gubs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.
The night away, don't matter the words you say. Until the darkest day, I'm drinking the night away. It's been 2 weeks on the run and I'm starting